The following is a production of CUTV Sports.
From Falcon Stadium in Connellsville, Pennsylvania, tonight the CUTV Game of the Week takes us to the Foothills Conference, where the KISKI area Cavaliers have traveled down into Fayette County to take on the Connellsville Falcons. Hello and welcome to the broadcast, everybody. My name is Matt Hagee. Alongside of me is Zach Prosma. Zach, battle of the Foothills tonight, and both teams are coming off some pretty soundly defeats.
Yeah, surprisingly though, both of these teams are still alive in playoff hopes though. We'll start with KISKI. They ended up losing 28-10 to Altoona. KISKI was up in that game 10-0 before having 28 unanswered from Altoona. So we'll see if KISKI can come out here, maybe keep the offense rolling and then get their defense a little bit more sound. And for Connellsville, they went to Norwin, and Norwin, they clinched a playoff spot off this win, 28-12 over the Falcons. Connellsville did win 2 games at one point early in the year in a row. Since then, they've lost 3 in a row though. They're still alive in a playoff race, and they still have a very good chance of getting in. They just need a lot of help, and they have to make sure they win out from here on in.
And these two teams in the Foothills, they are Foothills Conference rivals. They faced last year, and KISKI really took it to Connellsville.
Yeah, KISKI ended up coming away with a 53-20 victory. And KISKI, although they're 0-7 this year, they did make playoffs last year, so they have that experience. They have a lot of juniors and sophomores on this team that played probably a lot last year as well. So it's going to be interesting. It's a rivalry game. It's senior night here at Connellsville as well, so we'll see if the seniors can Connellsville come out and try and reverse fortunes from that big 30-point loss last season.
KISKI fresh off the playoffs at 5-5 last season. I lost Upper St. Clair. So when we come up next, we'll be getting ready for kickoff here on senior night on a beautiful fall night here in Connellsville. Stay tuned for all the action on CUTV.
For almost 30 years, CUTV has been the campus and community home for local news, sports, and entertainment. Broadcast in 100,000 homes in southwestern Pennsylvania, CUTV provides complete coverage of Vulcan sports as well as high school football coverage. Broadcast weekly live, CUTV News Center provides coverage of local and campus events, weekend weather, sports highlights, and feature stories. For more information on CUTV, check us out on the web, friend us on Facebook, or follow us on Twitter. Since 1937, the Student Association Incorporated, known as SAI, has served the CalU student body by providing activities, programs, and services. Every enrolled student has the ability to take part in over 125 different clubs and organizations. Managing participation in every SAI activity is easy with WorkSync, a powerful tool for staying connected. Located 1 mile from campus, the SAI Farm has 94 acres of meeting and recreational space. SAI, it's your student association.
Stay connected with CUTV. Subscribe to us on YouTube for new videos. Follow us on Twitter for status updates. Like us on Facebook for updates, videos, and more. CUTV social media. Get connected, stay connected.
Didn't get out to the high school football game this past Friday? Don't worry, because CUTV Sports has you covered. Never miss a second of this season's upcoming high school action, as CUTV's Game of the Week takes you to the stadium and gives you the best seat in the house. Now in its 29th season of bringing you all of the best local games, CUTV Sports is your local leader in high school football coverage.
Welcome back to Campbell Field here in Connellsville, Pennsylvania for the KISKI Cavaliers and the Connellsville Falcons here in the CUTV High School Game of the Week. My name is Matt Hickey, alongside me is Zach Prosper. The Connellsville Falcons getting ready to enter the field, and Zach, they're coming out to enter Sandman. They're blasting Metallica right now. I know I'm pumped, but you got to be pumped as well, too.
Yeah, it's our penultimate game in our high school football game of the week schedule. We're going to go ahead and look at the tail of the tape now between KISKI and Connellsville. We'll get that graphic up on the screen in just a moment for you. As you see right there, both teams coming with losing records. Connellsville 2-5, KISKI 0-7. Connellsville 13 points a game, KISKI 9 points a game, and KISKI gives up some of the highest points per game in all of Quad A. Connellsville about 16 points less, 33.1. KISKI has lost 8 in a row, including their playoff matchup you mentioned before against Upper St. Clair, where they got throttled. I mean, it's Upper St. Clair, though, so you kind of expect that. So, but Connellsville, they're coming in losing 3 straight after having won 2 straight. As we can see, Connellsville running out to the field now between the goalposts.
And there's KISKI sporting gold helmets, white jerseys, and Connellsville breaking through the sea, Falcon flag in the air. And they're led by their quarterback, Derek Brubaker, the senior. His final game ever in Falcon Stadium tonight, and he's looking, and he bet he saw those KISKI numbers, and he's really licking his chops, thinking he could have a big night tonight.
Yeah, because the last time these two teams played, we mentioned before, 53-20 KISKI win. We'll go ahead and look at the weather for tonight as well, and there seems to be some dark clouds out there. Hopefully the rain doesn't come. You see right there, temperature says 25. Make that supposed to be 52, because if it's 25 degrees out, we are clearly not dressed for that. Wind 10 miles an hour and about a 20% chance of rain, which does seem a little bit accurate because there are some dark clouds forming. It is pure night right now, 7 o'clock, so the days are starting to get shorter with daylight saving times approaches. But the Friday night lights are on, and you see the captains going to midfield now.
And nothing better than those Friday night lights. Each team brings out 4 captains. And, you know, Zach, this is a very passionate town. They love their Connellsville Falcons, and there's a pretty good crowd out here in hand. KISKI making the trek down from the Pittsburgh area there. Looks like the captains for KISKI, Chad Kuhn, junior quarterback, Justice Evans, sophomore running back, Jake Reed, senior defensive tackle, and also Cameron Turner, junior wide receiver.
And for Connellsville, the captains are running back Josh Cree, number 1. He is a senior. Number 45, Anthony DeMarco, another running back. He is also a senior. Number 56, Kevin Kuntz. He's an offensive lineman senior. And Dylan McCray, number 58, another offensive lineman senior. So all seniors out there, and it looks like Connellsville is elected to receive the ball first.
Well, they won the toss, and Coach said, we want the ball first, and they can really prove that statement there. You know, Connellsville offense has been scuffling recently. They had to deal with that bad weather last week in Norwin, but they have a favorable matchup tonight here at KISKI. But, you know, we had a game last week in Derry and Brownsville where we thought Derry was heavily favored, but Brownsville just barely lost that game. They had a field goal blocked here, so anything could happen tonight.
Yeah, Brownsville was up in that game 18-7 at halftime. They just weren't able to finish, and they went on an 8-minute drive to end it. So with two teams scuffling on the road a little bit, maybe we'll see some more of the same, but I think Connellsville does definitely come in here as the favorite with the more favorable record. But if KISKI can get something going on offense and their defense can shut down this week, unlike they did against Altoona, I think we're in for one good dogfight tonight between both of these teams. And
out to set the kick for KISKI is their junior kicker, Timothy Collins, and Connellsville has 3 receivers back there. It looks like it's Braden Hone, Austin Puskar. Can I see him there? But we are a squib kick away here, and it's fielded by Connellsville, and he will just fall down there. That was number 4, Luke Coons. Yeah, Luke Coons, the sophomore running back, falling on it. It was kind of a surprising squib kick to start this game off. Maybe try and surprise the Falcons to get some good field position, but the Falcons are going to start about the 30-yard line with the ball here. And you mentioned before, the quarterback for Connellsville, Derek Brubaker, he's a senior, stands about 6'1", 175. With that kind of body structure, I would expect probably more of a running, balanced offense from the Falcons tonight. Connellsville lines up with 2 backs behind Brubaker there. It'll be a pitch toss to Josh Cree. Right side, he's got a hole, breaks up field and gets out to the 40-yard line. He's going to be near a first down. He might have had enough yards to get that one. And they actually do call it a first down, so they are going to move the sticks just barely enough. So give him a 10 yards on that carry for Cree. So good start there for the Falcons. Nice little pitch toss here. Cree had a nice open hole and just came out and did his job, 10 yards. And
Kiski, we mentioned before, their defense gives up more points than a lot of teams in Quad A. Shutting down on this first drive is going to be very key. I mentioned before they were at 10-0, just 28 unanswered. So a very much improved effort. You just got to keep bringing it tonight.
And an end around here. That's Dylan Snopsider going around the right side. He's got another first down and more into Kiski territory. Still fighting there. Big scrum there to take him down, but the Connellsville Falcons move the change once more.
And a good play right there. Dylan Knopf-Snyder, you said his name before, as I'm sure we'll see a replay of this in just a second. And it was a 15-yard gain, enough for a new set of downs as they're going to start the clock. Faked out a little bit of the Kiski defenders, and he just had some open running room on the outside to the left tackle, winning an outside tackle run, able to keep some defenders on his back and keep running a little bit too, gaining some extra yardage. And it's a good start for the Falcons here tonight.
2 big runs, and they've been using those end routes there to gash them. First down and 10 from the Kiski 45, another pitch toss, and Snopsnyder again. He's got a hole and up down to the 40-yard line. Looks like he got about 5 yards on the play.
Yeah, 5 yards on the play, and although he did go out of bounds, they're going to keep the clock running. And then they're actually going to call it maybe about a 4-yard gain. It's going to bring up 2nd and 6 for the Falcons.
And still Connellsville has not tested that middle through the gut there of Kiski so far, so we'll see if they try to change it up here.
And I can't tell who the Kiski starters are on the defensive line, but they look like some big bodies down there. So going through that middle might be a little bit too difficult. Try and plug it into the outside and get some more long runs.
2nd down and 6, another end around. This is Braden Hone, his first carry. He gets up close to a first down. It'll depend on the spot. Ball is out. And we'll see what the call is. They might have marked him. No, Kiski football. A turnover for the Falcons.
And that's a surprising call. I really thought that he was down on the field before that ball came out. That was Braden Hone. We'll look at it on the replay, see if we can see if the ball came out before he was down. You see Hone right there. He had a good run. He was about a yard short of a first down. See right here, Hone.
Oh, ball is out.
That was out, so that was a good call. Very surprising because it looked like the ball came out just before his elbow came down. So very good call right there by the officials, giving Kiski the ball. And that's the defense they needed. Force a turnover, make sure Connellsville didn't score on their first drive.
Chad Kuhn is the quarterback for the Kiski area Cavaliers. He hands the ball off to Clayton Lincoln. Lincoln's got a hole around the right side. He's got a first down and more in the Connellsville territory, pushed out of bounds at around the 45-yard line.
Yeah, they're going to stop the clock there. That was about a 20-yard run on that play. A very good start for this offense for Kiski. That is number 1, Lincoln Clayton. Bouncing into the outside, bounced it out again, and then found some open running room on an outside lane to keep going.
Lincoln Clayton, excuse me there. It's funny. I thought Clayton first name, Lincoln first name, but they're all the same. So, nonetheless, Kiski has a first down from the 47-yard line of the Falcons. Kuhn takes the snap, handoff side to his fullback there, and it looks like he got nowhere. That was Tariq Gant on the carry.
Yeah, so 2nd and 10 coming up, and that we talked about possibility of the defensive line for Kiski being a tough area to go at. Connellsville, their defensive line, they got some big bodies down there as well, and it looks like with that first run of the night, it's going to be very difficult running up the middle and the gut between the tackles. Maybe going outside, as we saw in that first run, is where you're going to have really attack the Falcons defensively and try and force some short third downs. So you got 2nd and long coming up.
Kuhn lines up with Clayton behind him, and he sends a man in motion. Takes a snap, handoff, Clayton up the middle, trying to fight for extra yards, and it'll be set up there. It looks like about a 3rd and manageable for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, we'll call it 3rd and 4, it looks like, from our vantage point on the field. He's at about the 41-yard line, needs the 37, so it is 3rd and 4, but a good run up the middle, did bounce it out a little bit and try and evade the tacklers, and he did that. So Clayton doing a very good job so far at running the ball. 2 carries so far for roughly about 25 yards.
3rd down and 4. From the 42-yard line of the Falcons. Kuhn out of the gun. He takes the snap. Back to pass. Fires. He's got a receiver out. Looking for the first down, and he might be short.
And he is going to be short. He's about maybe a yard and a half short on that one. And he came back to catch the ball. And on that, when he tried to turn around, there was tacklers there for Connellsville, able to bring him down just a yard short. We'll see what Kiski's going to do here. It looks like they are going to be going for it on 4th down as they are in enemy territory, but we never know what's going to happen.
Kuhn is staying on the field for the Cavaliers, so it looks like they will go for it there. I mean, they'll spot it at about the 38-yard line of the Falcons, so it's basically the only thing they could try to do is a booch kick here. But Kuhn will line up out of the shotgun. He's got 1 sidecar and Clayton behind him. Kuhn takes a snap, pitch toss, Clayton, right side, looking for a block, bounces out. cuts back inside, and he is stopped short, but a penalty flag is down.
And this might be a face mask penalty based on when it was thrown off the play. And it actually is going to be illegal contact used in the face against Kiski. So it's going to be Connellsville ball with a turnover on downs and the penalty. So Connellsville going to take over. Big defensive stop right there on 4th down against Clayton, not letting him bounce to the outside as he tried to. Forced him back in, and the Connellsville defensive line able to wrap him up just short of the new set of downs.
So a good stop there for the Falcons defense, exactly what they needed to do after that turnover. And Brubacher will lead his troops back out here. Here's the replay again.
And I mentioned before, Clayton, he tried going outside. Connellsville had a line of defenders right there, made him bounce back. And probably either Clayton or an offensive lineman just put a hand to the face, and it was a penalty, of course, with 8 minutes left.
Now pitched off to Knopfsnyder here on the left side. Tries to cut around. Looks like you got about 2-3 yards on the run.
So a decent gain on that one. Going to be about 2nd and 7 coming up. We have 7:45 and running remaining in the first quarter. And with the running offense so far, the clock's going to keep running. It doesn't really stop a lot with the running offenses that we see so many times in the WPIAL. There's not a lot of really prolific passers. Maybe Brett Brumbaugh. I forget what school he plays for, though. You'll have to remind me.
South Fayette.
South Fayette.
Also Pine Richland's quarterback as well. And now we're going to see a toss to Cree up the middle. It's the first time we've seen Connellsville work the inside line of the line of scrimmage there, but it'll bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, that's about a decent 3-yard gain right there. So it's going to be 3rd and 3. It looks like they're calling it. So a decent 3rd down coming up here. But if you don't get it, this is definitely punting area because you're right at midfield. You can't do the same thing that Kiski tried to do and go for it on 4th down, because if you don't get it, then you're giving the Cavaliers very good field position right at midfield, trying to attack to your defense again.
3rd down and 3. Knopfsnyder in motion. Takes the snap. Handoff. Knopfsnyder left side. Looking for the corner. He's got it, and a 1st down for Connellsville.
And that's going to stop the clock momentarily, as that is a new set of downs. 1st and 10 coming up in Kiski territory, just past midfield at about the 49-yard line is where they're going to mark it. So a good run right there by Knopfsnyder. He's done that a few times already into the night. I'm going to expect that a little bit more as they're going to start the clock with the new set of downs.
And the Falcons really starting to establish their speed on the outside lines there. So Connellsville will set up shop 1st down and 10 from the 49-yard line of the Cavaliers. One back set. He sends Knopfsnyder in motion. And it looks like we're going to have a penalty flag.
I don't even know if this is a penalty or if it was just a stoppage on the play.
Saw flag come out.
It's encroachment against Kiski, so that's actually going to go against the defense. I thought, usually when you see that, it's going to be false start, but they're going to call encroachment. So that's going to bring up 1st and 5 for the Falcons in this situation instead of 1st and 10.
And it helps Connellsville start up a little more. Instead of 1st and 10, it's going to be 1st and 5 here. And they'll move it at about the Cavalier 44-yard line there. So Connellsville's 2nd drive, and both times they are in Kiski territory.
And we got 6:46 on the clock right now, still in the first quarter.
He sends Cree in motion. Brubacher back to pass for the first time. Looks, fires, has a man out there. Deflected and incomplete. The Kiski defender almost slept it in the hands of number 80 for Connellsville, Nathan Norton.
And he honestly has to come down with that one because he was wide open right there, and it wasn't that much of a deflection from the defender, number 17, Cameron Turner. He had a little bit of deflection there, but it wasn't enough that probably disrupted the pass where he couldn't catch it. So a catchable ball, I would really call that a drop because he had that right in his chest, able to get his hands around it, just not able to at that time. 2nd and 5.
The wing formation, Connellsville. This is a handoff to Blaney. Blaney up the middle, trying to get decent yards there. Looks like he'll be set up about 3rd and 2 coming up.
And so another decent 3rd down. We saw 3rd and 3. They went outside with Knopfsnyder on a run past the left tackle. Has some receivers blocking on the outside as well. Maybe we'll see the same thing here. I can't tell if Knopfsnyder is actually in the huddle right now, and he's been the outside runner so far for the Falcons in this game. I know it's still early, but Knopfsnyder is your secret weapon, and he is lining up in the wing formation. So we'll see what happens here. 3 tailbacks in the backfield.
Kind of like something the Navy midshipman run there, but it's a run up the middle. That's Blaney, and he'll be enough for 1st down, but I see a penalty flag coming out.
Yeah, there's a penalty flag. It was 2nd effort, able to get the 1st down. Let's see what the penalty is going to be, though. It is going to be legal use of hands to the face against the defense, so this will be a 1st down.
And Connellsville is going to be set up in even more business than they already were with getting the first down. That is the second time the past couple plays that Kiski's had this penalty here. So Connellsville is going to have their deepest penetration so far in the Kiski territory.
And that 5-yard penalty is added to the end of the run as they're going to start the clock now. So it gives Connellsville even better field position. This is about where they lost the ball their first time out here on the field when they lost the fumble from, I believe it was Hone.
And handoff side, still fighting for extra yards. It looks like it'll bring up a 2nd down and 7.
And the clock keeps running as I guess he was tackled out just before getting out of bounds. So 2nd and 7 coming up. And we've only seen one pass so far, and this kind of reminded me of the Steelers game playing against the Browns this past week. A lot of runs trying to gut the defense out, then open up the passing lanes. Maybe you see a play-action play come up in a minute because we saw Brubaker has a little bit of a decent arm getting it downfield, just that receiver was not able to come down with it.
But that wing T formation offense is our base run. We said Navy, Georgia Tech, and this is Blaney up the middle, and he goes nowhere. Nice stop on the play. That was Noah Clayton for the Kiski Cavaliers.
And we'll see it on the replay in just a second maybe, as we actually do get the replay right here. Going up the middle, Clayton just standing up to the offensive lineman and getting the running back down as well. So a good defensive stop right there. Going to bring up 3rd and 7.
So 3rd down and 7 for the Connellsville Falcons here. Another big 3rd down coming up. 4:43 remaining. Wing formation again. Sends a man in motion. Brubaker back to pass. Looking, fires. Caught out of the hands of Norton. It'll be bring up 4th down for the Falcons.
So 2 drops on this drive for Norton, and that's inexcusable as a receiver. That's what you're meant to do. You go out there and catch the ball. And the first one was a little bit of deflection, so you give him a little slack for that one. But this one, he was wide open, had the ball, just went right out of his hands. That's going to bring up a 4th and 7, and they are going for it at the 30-yard line in Kiski territory.
And something on those 2 pass plays that Brubaker's had a lot of time to pass, so he's put the ball on the money here, but nonetheless, here's 4th down. Sends a man in motion. Back to pass is Brubaker. He rolls to the right, fires, and a pass is caught and going to the end zone. That'll be a touchdown. Austin Puskar for Connellsville.
And that time he finds a different receiver. Then Norton goes to Pusgrove, gets it into the end zone for the first 6 points of the night. Brubaker, we've seen, he has a pretty decent arm. And I mentioned before, those running plays are going to open it up through the air. So see the touchdown again. Brubaker, he likes running these bootleg outs.
Look at all that time.
All that time right there. You see that pocket. Getting out to the receiver. There was a defender there. It looked like Cameron Turner, number 17, trying to deflect the pass, just not able to. And the receiver had an open lane right behind him. No deep safety help or anything on that one to try and evade the play again.
So Connellsville will attack the extra point here, and that extra point is good. So with 4:19 remaining here in the first quarter, a good pass play. Austin Puskar, that man on your screen, is the reason why Connellsville leads the Kiski Area Cavaliers early here in the fourth quarter, 7-0. Stay tuned for more action here on CUTV.
First published in the 1880s, the California Times is the oldest student media at California University. Circulating 3,000 issues weekly on campus and in the surrounding community, the Times' mission is to deliver fair and balanced news to the student population of California University. All students are welcome to be a part of the California Times. Our offices are located in the Natali Student Union. Keep up to date with the Times online at www.caltimes.org, Facebook, and follow us on Twitter. 29 down. 4 letters to describe excellence in college television. I know. CUTV. California University Television.
Welcome back to Campbell Field here in Connellsville, Pennsylvania. Zach, we saw Connellsville take the lead here early over the Kiski Area Cavaliers and prevented with a big 4th down play and a pass catch for Austin Puskar, and Connellsville leads 7-0.
Yeah, you had a couple penalties on that drive as well. There's another kick here from Connellsville going to Kiski.
And a low kick there. That is fielded by Justice Evans. Evans brings that for a decent return there. So KISKI will start at about their own 38-yard line. It's a decent return there for Evans.
Yeah, and Evans actually had a hole right there, but a defender was able to wrap him up around his legs. As we look at the touchdown again, on that drive, the drive lasted 10 plays for 61 yards, about 3 minutes and 41 seconds. Pusgrove going into the end zone, number 11 for the Falcons, making it 7-0, and they would convert on the extra point. So KISKI now, it's up to your offense. You have to answer because you give up so many points. You have to turn into a shootout if your defense is not going to be able to stand up to the challenge.
These defenses not putting up good numbers here as we're going to see a handoff to Evans. Evans trying to cut around the right side, and he is wrapped down there by Knopsnyder.
And that's a loss of 1 on the play. So Knopsnyder not only does everything he needs to on offense, but on defense he can do the job as well, getting the big tackle right there against Evans. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 11 for the Cavaliers now, and your offense has to keep moving north. Don't let the defensive line for Carmichael's force you south. We saw the Cavalier quarterback, he can throw, and the quarterback for KISKI area is Chad Kuhn, the junior, so he can throw the ball. It's just going to be a matter of can you run the ball effectively as well.
And he will pass right here. It's going to be a screen pass, and he well overthrows there. Lincoln Clayton there, so he'll bring up a 3rd down and 11.
And Lincoln Clayton right there. Look back at his quarterback. What are you doing? I'm not that far down the field. I'm not that tall. And Clayton, he is a tall for a running back. He's 6'1". For a running back, and Kuhn about 6'2", so not much of a difference between their heights that much, but Kuhn just throwing it way too out far in front, trying to lead his receiver too much. You want to lead your receiver, you don't want to make him dive for the ball and stop his progress immediately, because that would have been maybe a gain of 1 yard, if that, on that play.
So 3rd down and 11 here, big 3rd down for KISKI. Kuhn out of the gun. He'll take the snap, he'll roll to the left, looking to pass, downfield, fires, and a pass is caught there. That is Deshaun Bracey, but he'll be well short of the 1st down.
He's going to be about 3 yards short of the 1st down, so a good 8-yard gain on that play. You see, maybe that's something to build on in this game. You can throw the ball and gain some positive yardage, but now you're going to see a 4th down and 3 come up, and the kicker, Tim Collins, is going to go out and punt the ball away.
Braden Hone set back to receive for the Connellsville Falcons here. So KISKI, first punt of the night here. They went for it on 4th down the last time. And Collins, he'll tee it up and give it away. Hone, he'll call for a fair catch, and he'll just back out of it. So KISKI will try to pin it deep in Connellsville territory. It'll roll and roll down to the 11-yard line. But there is a flag on the field, so we'll see what that is.
A late flag on the play as the ball did roll to about the 12-yard line after a few fortuitous bounces. It's going to be blocking the back against Connellsville. This is going to back them up even more. I believe this is probably going to be about half a distance through the goal. So they're going to start maybe around their own 6-yard line or so. And the time on the clock reads 2:32 to go here in the 1st quarter.
So blocking the back, I mean, it's interesting for that call there that one of your players do that because Hone well called it. He well called it a fair catch, so it's just one of those mental mistakes there. And Connellsville will be backed up to, we said, their 6-yard line. That's exactly what it will be. So 94 yards away from the end zone here. Now KISKI will try to get a stop here and try to change field position.
And there is 2:32 to go here in the 1st quarter, so most likely this drive would run out the 1st quarter if it's able to be sustained.
So Brubaker back out of the wing. Hands off Blaney right up the gut, fighting forward, still going, not on down yet, and now he finally is brought down there after about a 5-yard gain.
Yeah, so going to bring up 2nd and 5. That's a good gain that you needed on that 1st down because you're pinned well deep into your own zone. Gaining that 5 yards is going to give you a little bit more space probably to run that wing offense, maybe also do those bootleg outs that Brubaker likes to do, be able to run the ball as well.
So bring up a 2nd down and 4 for the Connellsville Falcons. And Zach, we see a lot of the running plays there. They had over 200 yards rushing against Hempfield in their last win, and they'll hand off to Knopsnyder up the middle. He's got a hole in the script, trying to bounce to the outside there and is wrapped up, but he's got a 1st down there. He needed about 1 more block, and he could have took it a long way.
Yeah, he cut it back to try and get another block because the clock is stopped momentarily, resetting the sticks. Trying to shift out 1 more block as the clock is going to start again. So we're probably only going to see a couple more plays here in the first quarter. You saw in that replay, he cut back to try and evade a blocker, but eventually 2 guys were there for the Cavaliers to bring him down, but not without a big gain of about 14 yards on that play.
So now Brubaker lines up, sends Knopfsnyder in motion. He'll be end around the Knopfsnyder, left side, trying to cut back, does, and he'll be brought down about a yard shy of the first down there, so Knopfsnyder continues to roll along for the Falcons.
So second and maybe even half a yard coming up, because it's a very fortuitous spot that they were given to Knopfsnyder on that play, but he's done some really good running so far. 23 yards on the last 2 running plays for Connellsville. He had a big run on the first drive as well, a couple of yards picked up in the second. So Knopfsnyder really is their star player so far in this one, and Knopfsnyder, he is a senior running back, so his last game here at Falcon Stadium.
This is a handoff to Blaney up the middle. He's got a first down and more. So just a simple handoff right up the middle, and Connellsville's got themselves another first down.
And a new set of downs. We have 44 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Clock is going to start, though, so we might only see maybe about 1, possibly 2 plays remaining in this quarter.
Very quick first quarter moving along here. 7-0 Falcons. Brubaker will line up behind the line of scrimmage there. He only lines up with 1 back and 2 sidecars split out. He sends Cree in motion. He'll be end around the Cree. Trying to cut back. He does. Gets back out the midfield, and another first down for the Connellsville Falcons. Those end arounds just continue to crush Kiski.
And that's going to stop the clock again. So Connellsville, they keep running the ball, which will keep the clock moving, but they get the first down. So the clock starts again. They're keeping the ball moving down the field. They started throwing 6-yard line. Now they're in Kiski territory at the 49. So they've driven 45 yards in just a couple minutes in the top or the back end of the first quarter.
So about 5 seconds left, and that's how the first quarter will end. Connellsville has moved out to midfield against the Kiski area Cavaliers. Well, after 1 quarter, it's been all Falcons. Connellsville goes in the second quarter, leading the Kiski area Cavaliers 7-0. Stay tuned for all the action here on CUTV.
CUTV News Center brings you the best in local news, weather, entertainment, and sports.
A new building is being constructed, and it is estimated.
We take a look at our local temperatures for this morning. Right around Du Bois, we have 38 degrees.
Swimmer Diana Nyad and former pro hockey player Sean Avery.
With the PSAC preseason poll.
CUTV News Center, live, Thursdays at 5.
And welcome back here to Campbell Field here for the start of the second quarter between the Kiski area Cavaliers and the Connellsville Falcons. Zach, Connellsville is up 7-0. Just mentioned before the break, it's been all Falcons so far.
And you see right there at the bottom of your screen for California University of Pennsylvania viewers, family members, friends as well, go to YouTube Challenge, the Pennsylvania American Water Facebook page or website, and vote for California to receive a free water bottle refilling station at the Natali Student Center. Currently, last check, California was up by about 90 votes on the University of Scranton. Scranton is the closest competition, so ending on October 31st is the voting, so you still got a couple weeks left to try and propel California to that win.
Now is Knopfsnyder up the middle for 5 yards there, so he continues to get decent runs there. But it was funny, Scranton was ahead of California yesterday, and then we took the lead right back, so that's great to see. I'd love to have one of those in this Natali Student Center. But back to action here, 2nd down and 5. In a wing T formation, he sends Knopfsnyder in motion. He'll do another end around. Left side, Knopfsnyder cuts it to the outside. 40, 35, 30, tripped up at about the 28-yard line. Move the sticks once again for Knopfsnyder and the Falcons.
Yeah, stop the clock again, and Knopfsnyder, you know, you would think eventually Kiski's defense would be able to be bottled down on that wing T as the clock starts, but Knopfsnyder is just so fast, and the blocking for the Connellsville offensive line has been really good so far tonight. They're able to pull the guards, they're able to get everybody in motion, in space as well, be able to eat up some defenders, and the blocks are opening up their running lanes on the outside.
Wing T again, he sends Cree in motion, Blaney behind him, and then Blaney gets the call right up the middle, plowing his way forward, or decent about a couple yards. They'll bring up 2nd down.
About maybe a 3-yard gain on that play, so 2nd and 7 coming up. Actually, maybe 4-yard gain, so 2nd and 6. But it's just these 3-4 yard gains that are really moving along the offense, because you don't need the big play every single time. But getting those chip yardages out of the way then opens it up for those big plays that we've seen so far from Connellsville tonight.
Remember, Connellsville started this drive at their own 6, so they've been eating a lot of time and a lot of yards. Bring up 2nd down and 6. From the KISKI 23, sends an offside in motion. It's a handoff to Blaney. Up the middle, he loses the ball. Ball is out, but it looks like he got it. Looks like Blaney recovered unless KISKI stole it away at the last second.
We're trying to see here. The referees are going down in the pile. And it's going to be KISKI
football.
ball.
Wow, unbelievable. Connellsville looking to continue their lead there, but at the second fumble in the night for turnover for Connellsville, and KISKI gets the ball back. Wow.
And a lucky break for KISKI. They need to score on this drive, though. They cannot keep just playing around and trying to hope to force some turnovers. You see there, the ball did clearly come out. At first glance, it looked like Connellsville did get it back, but the referee, when he went down into the pile, I guess the KISKI player stole it out of the hands of the Falcon offensive player. So that's where we're going to set up about the 22-yard line now for the Cavaliers.
And Kuhn handoff to Evans up the middle, cuts it up the middle, and gets a deep about 5-6 yards on the play there, bring up a 2nd down and short for KISKI.
And they're actually going to mark him maybe about an 8-yard gain actually on that play. So I guess it's a little bit of a second effort on that one. Going to bring up a 2nd and 2.
So KISKI trying to get some nice yards there, but it's a tough break for Connellsville again. I mean, they started that drive all the way at their 6. They were working hard all the way down the field, but costly turnover. And as the old saying goes, turnovers come back to haunt. So see if the Connellsville defense can stand tall like they did the last time. 2nd down, handoff, Evans up the middle, spinning around, and the Connellsville defense anchors there, but it looks like with forward progress, he will have enough for the 1st down.
That's going to stop the clock momentarily as they're going to set the sticks up. Good for KISKI to get a new set of downs. I believe that is their first down of the night. Getting the ball rolling as the clock starts again. Getting the ball rolling down the field is what's important for the Cavaliers now. You want to be able to make sure you get farther down the field. You don't want to have a drive stall out right here about the 35, 40-yard line, because then you're possibly going to have to punt and maybe give Connellsville some decent field position.
Now Lincoln Clayton lines in behind Kuhn, and he will get the handoff. Clayton up the middle, and looks like about short gain there, so Connellsville defense stands tall on 1st down, bring up 2nd.
2nd down and 7 coming up, and Clayton running into the inside is really not his forte. Evans is the much better inside runner I've seen so far. Clayton a much better get to the outside and try and outrun everybody. So maybe KISKI can see that going on. Coach Dave Hefner probably is going to try and adjust some things as the game keeps going on, although you're only down by 7 at this point.
Clayton lines up behind Kuhn. He's got Tariq Grant next to him, and Grant gets the ball there, and he only gets about 1 or 2 yards there. So bring up a 3rd and long for the Cavaliers.
3rd and 6 after only a 1-yard gain, as he was just tripped up trying to go on the outside run. He put it up outside the tackle, tried to bounce out again, and then he got tripped up, and that's what caused the tackle. So only a 1-yard gain when it looked like he had a couple more yards to gain on that play, maybe about 4 or 5 more. Would have made it a much more manageable 3rd down. Instead, you're caught in about 3rd and 6, which is not short, but it's not exactly the longest it could be either.
So Kuhn lines up with Clayton next to him. Back to pass is Kuhn. He's looking under pressure, trying to get around and down. He goes. 2 Connellsville defenders down to wrap up Kuhn, and the KISKI area Cavaliers will be forced to punt.
And that's going to bring up 4th and 14, as that's going to be an 8-yard sack. Kuhn just could not go anywhere. The Connellsville defensive linemen were coming on a perfect timed rush, and the offensive linemen for KISKI were trying to defend. Didn't know where Kuhn was at the time, though, and that's what caused Kuhn. He was trying to step up and avoid the tacklers, but they just both ate him up at the exact same time, and now KISKI's forced to punt again with Collins.
And now the Connellsville defense once again standing tall after turning the ball over. Collins with a hook rush, and that pass is blocked. Connellsville is going to be set up with great field position there. That was number 58, Dylan McCray. So Connellsville completely using their special teams to their liking.
And Dylan McCray, one of the captains for this Connellsville team, and his last game at Falcon Stadium. Have yourself a memory made, young man. Blocking that punt, a defensive lineman, I saw him kind of rush through. You see the replay here. He ran through that offensive line pretty quickly, and getting to that block punt, Collins, I could see he had at least a chance of it. I didn't know for sure if he was going to be able to get it, but a good dive to be able to get up on the ball and make sure it was a turnover.
Connellsville will start at their 21. Brubaker back to pass. He's got a man open, looking for the end zone, and in and out of the hands of Caleb Pittsman. It bring up second down. Oh, he dropped 6.
Yeah, the senior tight end, he had it. Just of the 4 or 5 passes Brubaker has thrown, he's only completed 1. The 3 or 4 others have been drops so far, and that one is not so much of a drop. He was just trying a little bit more effort in that one, trying to dive out a little bit as well. He looked like he could have come down with a ball, but just not able to get both hands around it. Only had 1 on it, so it's going to stop the clock. You're going to have another drive. Possibility of maybe stalling here if you can't get enough yardage on second down.
Since Hone in motion, he'll get the wide pitch out there. Hone at the right side, trying to cut back. He does, breaks the tackle. 5, goal line, touchdown Connellsville.
What a play right there. I cannot say enough about what just happened on that run. We'll see it in the replay before I tell you exactly what it is that I was amazed at. So we'll go ahead and go to the replay of the touchdown. It was a pitch out to Hone.
That's a long pitch, too.
A very long pitch. Now watch right here. Throws the defender off of his back and keeps going. That's what I was impressed with. He had a tackler there, but he threw him off his back, got to the end zone, and put his team up by 13, barring the extra point.
Now Corey Fogel will come on for the extra point. Fogel sent up, low kick, and it is no good. So Connellsville misses the extra point, but there's a flag on the play.
And flag on the play. This might be an offsides because it seemed like Kiski was coming very close to blocking that one, and usually most of the time when it's very close to a blocked point after attempt, it's an offsides because the defense, it seemed like a whole wave of the side of the defense was coming at the exact same time. There is 7:01 remaining in the second quarter, so that drive, the couple drives that we had in this quarter took up a lot of time. We're going to get the call in just a moment. And it is on the defense, so they will kick it again. So Connellsville now has an opportunity to retry that kick and go up instead of 13, put up another point and make it 14-0.
So the officials, we saw that a couple weeks ago. Best center Frazier. Best center had a penalty. Frazier missed the extra point. They got another chance, and they got the extra point there. So Fogel will come back on there for the Falcons.
Running into the kicker.
And running into the kicker against the Cavaliers. So that is a no-no, and Connellsville will get a second chance to make this extra point right.
And I actually honestly did not see a running into the kicker. My eye was on the ball, so I did not see the play on the field. I don't think you did either, Matt, so we're going to see the re-kick here. Maybe the defense is a little bit more lenient instead of hustling towards the ball.
So ball is down, kicks up, and that one, wow, that's a big leg there from Fogel, and he gets the extra point and redemption. So with 7:01 left here in the second quarter, Connellsville stretches their lead out to 14-0 over Kiski. Stay tuned for the rest of the first half here on CUTV.
Stay connected with CUTV. Subscribe to us on YouTube for new videos. Follow us on Twitter for status updates. Like us on Facebook for updates, videos, and more. CUTV social media. Get connected, stay connected.
And welcome back to Campbell Field here in Connellsville, Pennsylvania. You'll see the Connellsville kicker there, Corey Fogel, go back to kick there. And he had a second redemption on that one after he got ran into after he mixed the first extra point for Connellsville.
Yeah, and he almost kicked it out of Falcon Stadium, Campbell Field. So a very angry kicker getting run into, and I'm sure kickers don't like getting run into because they're very not delicate, but they're very not prone to contact, and that's why they're the kickers. They're trying to avoid the contact as much as possible.
And he gets a decent kick there. That's Cameron Turner on the run back for Kiski. He's got a hole, trying to cut back, and is wrapped down at about their own 38-yard line there. So Kiski, the second straight time they took a kickoff to about the 38-yard line, so they got decent field position to start here.
And Kiski, we mentioned before, Justice Evans, he had a pretty decent punt return. And we'll look at the touchdown here, Austin Hone. I mentioned before, what really impressed me was when the defender for Kiski was on his back, number 3 for the Kiski Cavaliers.
Deshaun Bracey.
Deshaun Bracey, when he was on his back, Hone just shook him off and kept running, which kind of showed me, I want this more than you want to tackle me.
And he is a junior for the Connellsville Falcons, so they got to like having him back with that speed. Now Kuhn will take the snap here on first down. He'll keep it himself. Quarterback keeper up the middle. Bounces to the outside there. Gets a good gain and out near first down there. So Zach, we see Kuhn roll out there, and he's got decent wheels under him.
Yeah, very decent wheels for both of these teams. About an 8-yard gain, well, actually 9-yard gain. They're going to call it 2nd and 1 coming up on the play.
And actually, this will be a flag and a block in the back, so a tough break there for Kiski. They're going to get that great run there by Kuhn wiped out.
I don't know if that's going to be a block in the back or legal use of the hands to the face. Well, actually, it is a block in the back, so that's something you usually don't see while you're on offense. It's usually a special teams flag. It's going to be a penalty from the spot of the foul. It's going to be about an 8-yard penalty, so it's going to be 1st and 18, and they're going to start the clock.
So tough break there. We saw Connellsville with about that one block in the back penalty. That's been it. Kiski's had a lot of penalties so far here as the clock is ticking here. 1st down and 18 from the Cavaliers 30. Kuhn out of the gun. He's got 2 backs with him. And he'll hand it off. And a flea flicker here. Kuhn back to pass. Fires. He's got a man. That's Cameron Turner. Incomplete. But a penalty flag is down. A penalty flag is out on Austin Puskar.
And there looked like there was some interference on that play, because I looked, as soon as I saw that Turner was not going to get the ball, I was looking right at the defender to see if there's going to be a pass interference on this play. I think we might be able to see a replay of it coming up after the call. But this is definitely going to be interference against Connellsville, and that's going to set up a new drive now for Kiski. So it wipes out the 1st and 18. It's going to be a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. 1st down and 10 coming up. So basically an 8-yard gain, but also with 15 yards as well. So we'll see here on the replay. Look at the defender for Connellsville. Oh, he definitely had an interference right there and put his arm right in front of the face of the receiver, and that's a no-no in football. You can't do that, so that's what caused the interference.
And he was well there before the ball even got there, so good call there for the officials. Kiski's going to get a 1st down and 10 here from their own 45. 1st and 4, actually.
It's a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, so 1st and 3 on the play instead of a 1st and 18, so it's not a 1st and 10.
So interesting call there, but Kiski will be in business here. 45-yard line now. Screen pass out to Justice Evans. Evans cuts it up and breaks another tackle. It spins and gets stood up there, but he's got a 1st down nonetheless.
And about an 8-yard gain on that play. So it's going to bring up a new set of downs coming up. Clock stops with 6:09 left on it before it's going to start in just a moment. But big momentum swing here as the clock starts for Kiski. If they can keep this drive going, they can clearly throw the ball. I think they need to be doing that a little bit more, though, because Kuhn has a pretty decent arm. Get some more of those screen passes and your shifty runners getting out in space and trying to evade some tacklers.
So good play there. Kiski will have a 1st and 10 now in Connellsville territory at the Falcon 47. Now Kuhn will hand off to that's Lincoln Clayton up the middle. And Clayton will push ahead a little forward there and bring up about a 2nd down and 6.
So 2nd and 6 coming up. And quickly, we have a couple score updates from the Foothills Conference as well. Alatoona, I'm from Georgia. We have an Alatoona down there. Altoona beating Hempfield 7-3 end of the 1st quarter. And in the 1st quarter, McKeesport leading Norwin 14-0. And it's very important to note, if Altoona wins, they clinch the 5th playoff, or at least a possibility of getting into the playoffs.
So now Kuhn will line up the gun. Handoff there. Almost lost the hand up there, but Connellsville was ready for that Lincoln Clayton handoff there. So Kiski's going to be loose about to their original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, 3rd and 8 coming up. And Matt, we're right next to the Connellsville coaches.
I'm looking ahead to next week.
I'm looking ahead to next week already. Connellsville coaches, and you could hear the screams and the howls of excitement off that big stop on the run play there. So 3rd and 8 coming up. Kiski, they had all that momentum. Now it's stalled out again. We've seen this too much out of the Cavaliers tonight. They need to get something rolling on offense.
So 4 receivers split out, 2 to each side. Clayton's behind Kuhn, end of the gun. Kuhn back to pass. Looking. He's going to screen pass to Clayton. Clayton trying to run around. He's got really no room in front of him, and Connellsville shuts that down quick, but a penalty flag is out.
So we'll have to see what the flag is for it. Right now it stands as a loss of 2. That would be 4th and 10. But we'll have to see what the penalty is going to be.
So we'll see that there. But flag on Connellsville. Defensive holding there, so that's going to be another big break for Kiski.
I'm pretty sure that's an automatic 1st down, 5-yard penalty. We'll have to get clarification in just a second. But pretty sure this is going to give new life to the Cavaliers on this drive.
So now Clayton will go over there. And he was stopped. I mean, this was well played there by Connellsville. So Kevin Kuntz there in the play. But
well, it's a 10-yard penalty from the end of the run, and with that, because they were back at the original line of scrimmage, that 10 yards is enough for a new set of downs, and they're going to start the clock. 1st and 10 coming up for the Cavaliers again with 4:19 to go before halftime.
So now Connellsville at the Falcon 37 and moving. This is the deepest they've been in Connellsville territory so far, but they definitely need a drive here. Kuhn out of the gun. Handoff. No, he keeps it himself, trying to cut back up the middle there, and it looks like he got about 3-4 yards on the play.
And they're going to call it a gain of 3, not extending the ball out too much on that one. So Kuhn, he catch it himself. He was very close to getting tackled in the backfield as well, able to evade a couple defenders for a big 3-yard gain. Going to bring up 2nd and 7 with about under 4 minutes remaining.
This Connellsville line has definitely controlled the trenches so far in this game here, as we have 3:41 remaining here in the first half. Connellsville up by 14. 2nd down and 7. Kuhn out of the gun. He's got Clayton behind him. Back to pass is Kuhn. Fires right side. He's got Evans. Evans trying to bounce it out, but he is wrapped up. Many Connellsville tackles, and there's a big scrum over there. So it looks like you only got about a yard on that play. It'll bring up 3rd and 6.
And Evans on that play, he had a good reception. When he turned his body around, he went backwards though. Don't go south, go north. Or maybe even in that instance, go back east and then go north, because you don't want to lose any yards right there. You see Justice Evans, he's going backwards trying to evade the tackler. Lower your shoulders, get under the defender, and keep going instead of driving yourself backwards.
So 3rd down and 6. Big 3rd down here with 2:54 remaining in the first half here for Kiski. Kuhn will line up with one sidecar and Clayton behind him. Kuhn back to pass. Looking, under pressure, gets away from one man, still under pressure, breaks another guy off, but finally the pressure is too much. Another sack for the Connellsville Falcons, and Kiski will be forced in a 4th and long.
And a big stop right there. That's going to be about a 6-yard loss, or a much bigger than 6-yard loss, about a 10-yard loss. Going to bring up 4th and 16. Kuhn, twice tonight, has tried to go for the big pass, but the defenders for Connellsville are able to get into the offensive backfield and take Kuhn down for a very large sack. On the last one, it really didn't matter because the next play was pass interference, but now you're forced with a 4th down, punt the ball away with Collins, and on the last one, it was blocked, so you got to be very careful here. Don't want to give Connellsville very good field position before half.
Connellsville's had some mistakes with those penalties, extending the drives to fumbles, but they're still pitching a shutout as Braden Hone will take the punt back here. He's got a hole in front of him. He's got a convoy in front of him. Wide open down the hole. Penalty flag is down, so this will be coming back, but a nice return there by Braden Hone at 35.
And I'm pretty sure this is going to be an illegal block in the back. I could see it from my vantage point. There is a wall right here, so you have the much better vantage point, but in the little crease that I can't see, there was a block on the back. So this is going to drive Connellsville back down the field. It was a very good return from home, but you hate to see that wiped away by a bad penalty. We'll see the replay of it after the call is made on the field.
So tough break there for Connellsville there. Looked at one point there, Braden Hone had a convoy. He missed the first play of tacklers here, so we'll see the replay.
We'll try and see it. It's right there.
Yep.
You see the defender for Kiski just fall down, face forward, and that's usually the sign of a block in the back. It's going to be 1st and 10, about the 8-yard line with 1:45 to work with before halftime. And remember, Kiski does get the ball in the second half to start with. So if Connellsville can score here, it's going to make it 21-0. It's going to be very hard for Kiski to come back. Kiski needs a big defensive stop on this drive.
They started their 2 drives ago. They were at the 6-yard line, drove down deep in the Kiski territory, but fumbled the ball there. So Connellsville is not. They're going to reset the play clock to 1:46. So that was just a second or two off of our clock. So not too much of a difference there, but nonetheless, Brubaker will start at the wing formation there. Pitch toss, left side. That is Stephen White. White gets a good gain there. Looks like he got a 1st down.
Let's see where they mark White. It is enough for a new set of downs. We're going to stop the clock momentarily. And that's what Connellsville did on their last drive before the end of the first quarter. They got the 1st down, stopped the clock, went back to the run, kept getting the 1st downs, making sure they had enough time for themselves. And I still do believe they have all 3 of their timeouts, so the clock is going to start again.
So that's the thing, that Connellsville are running offense, so they're going to have to try to strike quick here. But we've seen Brubaker roll out and have a lot of time to pass, so we'll see what they do there. Got two tailbacks behind them. And Brubaker will roll to the right end pass there, but he misfired there. Stephen White on the play will bring up second down.
Yeah, that play, there was two receivers in the area, but he didn't look like he was really throwing to either one of them. It was a very odd play going on that one. Brubaker looked like he was trying to find a receiver on the outside, maybe gain about 4 or 5 yards before going out of bounds, but it's going to be incomplete, going to bring up 2nd and 10 now.
So second down and 10. 1:37 remaining on the Campbell Field scoreboard here. And now Brubaker sends in motion, and another deep pitch there to Hone. Hone scored down on the touchdown, but that time he is wrapped up there by Lincoln Clayton. It looked like he lost a yard on the play there. Third down.
And Lincoln Clayton, the good runner for Kiski, also the very good tackler as well. So you got about 1:20 now to go in the first half. We're going to have a timeout called by Kiski. That is their first of the half with 1:18 remaining in the first half.
So Kiski will try to take those timeouts. If they can stop Connellsville, they can get one last shot there. We'll probably take it at about a minute to go if Connellsville cannot convert here. Zach, we're going to take a look at Connellsville's schedule here.
And Connellsville's schedule, I mentioned before, they had 2 straight wins early in the year against Latrobe and Hempfield. 2 pretty good wins over some of the lesser competition in the foothills. But when it matters against the teams that are above you, McKeesport, Penn Trafford, Plum, and Norwin, you really let their offenses get rolling. And we cannot go without saying Central Catholic, they are probably the best team in Quad A, and they have a very big matchup coming tonight against Pine Richland. That's going to decide a lot in Quad A. So losing to them is nothing to be ashamed of, because a lot of teams lose to Central Catholic by big scores. So Connellsville, they need these last 2 wins to get in. But if Altoona wins tonight, it's all for naught, even if Connellsville comes away with a win tonight.
And Connellsville has lost 2 straight years to the Altoona Mountain Lions, as Connellsville will line up here 3rd down 11 with 1:18 remaining here in the first half. Wing T formation. He'll send White in motion. And Brubaker, nice misdirection. Handoff there to Hone, up the middle, fighting for it, and he's got a 1st down and 10 for the Falcons.
What a play there. A nice, shifty kind of trickery play in the backfield, giving the ball to Hone. As you're going to have a timeout called by Connellsville, their first of the first half. You see the replay here, and then Hone just evading enough tacklers, able to stretch out just far enough. About a 12-yard, 13-yard gain on that play. Being a 1st and 10 coming up now for the Falcons. You have a little over a minute remaining. You still got a lot of field to work with, though, in that amount of time.
It's funny, as we're about to take a look at the Foothills Conference. It's funny, Kiski took the timeout, but now Connellsville took the timeout because they got 1st down. But Zach, talk about the Foothills Conference a little bit.
And in the Foothills Conference, it's actually kind of wacky. Penn Trafford and McKeesport have clinched. You would think Altoona clinched because they're in 3rd place, right? Well, no, they have not. Norwin and Plum have clinched. It's a very odd tiebreaker scenario. But in Quad A, there is a wild card taken as well. So Altoona has a very good shot of getting in. If they win tonight, they are that 5th team to make it from the Foothills.
So now Brubaker will start 1st and 10. And he will roll out, and he'll try to hit Stephen White up, but he is stood up. Well, nice play there by Noah Clayton for the Kiski Area Cavaliers.
And that's a 3-yard gain on that play. Gonna keep the clock running, though, so they're not gonna stop the clock before the half. Looks like they're content with trying to get as much as they can out of this one. So a very good tackle on that play by Ross Grease, playing as a cornerback instead of a halfback in this spot. You have 41 seconds to go before halftime, and now you're going to get a timeout called by Connellsville.
So Connellsville takes their 2nd timeout here of the first half there. So it's again, Connellsville, they're keeping it simple, but they're staying in bounds. That's why they have to use these timeouts. And they moved out to their own 38-yard line, but they got to move more with only 39 seconds remaining.
And don't be surprised, though, if Connellsville can't do it, because we've seen Knopsider is really the guy to look at. Number 21 for Connellsville, Dylan Knopsider, the senior running back. He has been the big play catalyst tonight for the Falcons. Getting him to the outside, evading some tacklers is what Connellsville has done best tonight. Getting him along the hash marks to the outside. If you have a tackler right in front of you, then just step out of bounds, stop the clock, make sure you get enough for a new set of downs, keep the ball rolling. That's what's important in this situation if you want to be able to score before halftime, because if you don't, Kiski has an opportunity with the second half kickoff coming their way on their first drive that they can score. Brings it back within a very small deficit of only about 7 points possibly, as Connells is going to try and keep the drive going here.
So Brubaker will line up in the gun and back the pass. Brubaker under pressure, scoots out, fires downfield. He's got a man wide open, but he overthrew his intended target, Caleb Pitzman. Tough break there for Connellsville.
A very good throw there from Brubaker. A very good job also evading the pressure from the pocket. A very good job from Brubaker. We've seen that a couple times tonight. He runs those bootleg outs, trying to get out away from the pressure. He did that time. Instead of rolling it out, he stepped up into the pocket, getting enough strength behind his throw to go downfield. Just overshot his receiver, Pitzman. So that's going to bring up 3rd down and 8 with 31 seconds to go.
So it'll be interesting to see what Connellsville here, if they'll just try to run clock out so Kiski doesn't have any time here, or if they'll try to go downfield. They'll line up out of the wing. He'll send Hone in motion. And a misdirection at the middle. That's Knopsart. He's got a hole in front of him. Down the left sideline. 40-yard line and out of bounds. But no, he did not get out of bounds here. The ref will keep him in bounds, but it'll be a first down.
And the clock is going to stop with the first down. And that's exactly what I talked about you need to do. Get Knopsart outside. Watch him run. I think he probably should have cut outside out of bounds a little bit sooner and then just settling for the clock stoppage with the first down. You still have a timeout left. But the clock is going to start now at 1st and 10 and about the 37-yard line.
And now Connellsville still has one timeout remaining here. They'll try to get something set up quick here. Wing formation. Brubaker will send Hone in motion. Back the pass is Brubaker. He rolls out to the right. Fires downfield. That pass is caught by Norton. Norton trying to get out of bounds, and he does not. But it's a first down, so the clock will stop at 1st with 13 seconds remaining.
You're going to get a timeout, it looks like, called. Or actually, no. There might have been a penalty flag on the play. Or no. Timeout Connellsville. That's their final timeout. Stops it with 13 seconds to go. And that was a very good pass from Brubaker to number 80 for Connellsville, who's had a little bit of a problem with the drops. That's Nathan Norton, a senior wide receiver. He's had 2 drop passes so far in this contest. Getting the one that he absolutely needed, though. You're at about the 23-yard line. You're well out of field goal range for the WPIAL kickers. I can't stress this enough. You want to try and get as close as you can before attempting a field goal, but with only 13 seconds left, you only have maybe 1 play left, and you have to stop the clock. I would expect a Brubaker pass here, because if there's nothing there, just throw it out of bounds and then try and go for the end zone on the last play. But I think the ball's in Brubaker's hands at this time with only a handful of time left before we go to halftime.
And he's dangerous when we see him get rolled out there. He rolled out. He can find his receivers. He's had a couple drops. He misfired Pitzman on that one pass there. But nonetheless, when Brubaker's been back to pass, he's been impressive. And he'll line up out of the gun. 13 seconds remaining here in the first half. He's got one side car, and he'll send Knopsteiner in motion to the near side. Back to pass is Brubaker. He goes, fires, pass is deflected, and it falls incomplete there.
That pass was intended for Norton again, and with that deflection, that defender that was in the backfield was very close to maybe intercepting it. So we're going to get a stoppage.
Justin Evans is down.
Justin Evans is down. I actually did not see that. I thought they were motioning that since the ball was so far away, they're going to get a stoppage and reset the ball quickly. But it's going to bring up 2nd and 10 with 9 seconds to go, and Evans is down on the field, and he looks to be in a decent amount of pain, and that's a shame because Evans has done a pretty good few things here tonight for
his leg got clipped.
Norton, after he rolled over, his leg just got rolled over on, so that's going to be a maybe a little bit of a sprain in there somewhere in his leg, maybe a cramp as well. He is walking very gingerly off, so hopefully Evans can come back very quickly in this one. He's been a very key part of what Kiski's doing tonight. He can run the ball. He's also a very good returner, and he would have come into the factor when they get the second half kickoff as well.
So it's good he's come off all in his own power here to be lucky. There's only 9 seconds till halftime, so you can maybe if the leg injury's not bad, he can stay in the locker room, rest up a little bit, and try to get back out there because he's got a lot of speed for Kiski, as you mentioned. But now Connellsville 2nd down and 10 with 9 seconds here, no timeouts, so they got to either get out of bounds or to the end zone.
I would expect it looks like they're going in the wing motion, so I wouldn't expect a run here.
Play action, Brubaker rolls out. looking, fires, end zone, and well overthrown. And it looks like we will have 3 seconds remaining here in the first half.
And it looks like they're bringing on the field goal unit. So a surprising decision in my opinion, because you're at the 23-yard line. That's going to be a 40-yard field goal attempt. Now, I'm no expert on Connellsville field goal kickers because we only see them about once a year. And last time we saw them last year, I don't even know if this was their kicker or not. So a 40-yard attempt coming up right now. Let's see if he can get the job done. Looks like that's a 40-yard kick, and that's number 20, the kicker.
Corey Fogel. Ball is spotted. Kicks away, and that kick is good. Corey Fogel at halftime. What a kick.
What a kick. Some college kickers can't even make 40-yard field goals, and he just did something that a lot of kickers strive to do in the WPIAL, make a 40-yarder right going into halftime.
And a big kick there, and it gives Connellsville all the momentum heading into halftime. Stay tuned for the marching bands at halftime here on CUTV. Connellsville leads 17-0.
High School Roundup is your place for local high school coverage. From highlights of the game of the week to all of the scores and standings from around the region, local high school fans will be ready when the lights come on Friday night. High School Roundup only on CUTV. CUTV News Center brings you the best in local news, weather, entertainment, and sports.
A new building is being constructed and it is estimated.
We take a look at our local temperatures for this morning. Right around Du Bois, we have 38 degrees.
Swimmer Diana Nyad and former pro hockey player Sean Avery.
With the PSAC preseason home.
CUTV News Center, live, Thursdays at 5.
The Multimedia Access Center is an open lab where California University students can work on an assignment, attend a workshop, print a document for class, or take advantage of a variety of services such as large format printing, web development, and graphic design. Located in the renovated Natali Student Center across from the student bookstore, the Mac Lab is also your home for OrgSync support and services. For hours of operation or for more information, stop by the Mac Lab, visit our website, like us on Facebook, or follow us on Twitter.
You can relive all of the action from your favorite CUTV program today. From regional championships to high school football, you can take home your favorite CUTV game or event to relive anytime. Just send a return address and DVD information with $16.95 per DVD to 250 University Avenue, care of CUTV. Order today.
And welcome back here to Campbell Field. It is halftime here at Connellsville. They lead 17-0 over the KISKI area Cavaliers. So you see the Connellsville Marching Band is on the field here for a special presentation. They are honoring their seniors as a part of senior night, the football players and cheerleaders in the first half. But now it's time for the marching band to be honored. Enjoy, everyone.
Brock Firestone. Escorted by parents Derek and Candy Firestone. Brock is a member of the golf team, the chamber ensemble, and Boy Scouts. He is a 3-year member of the marching band and indoor drumline. Brock is also a fireman and is involved in his church. He plans to attend college and participate in ROTC and later become an officer in the Navy. Meredith Gibbs. Escorted by her mother Jody Turney, and stepfather Randy Cartwright. Meredith is on the honor roll, is a 2-year member of the Coast Guard, and has a part-time job. She plans to attend college and pursue a career in radiography and sonography. Valerie Knipple, escorted by her parents Kim and Deidre Knipple. Valerie received second place in Skills USA and has played softball for 3 years and is in the marching band. She plans to attend Westmoreland County Community College to study culinary arts. Sierra Long, escorted by her mother, Marley Long, father Jeff Long, and stepmother Riona Long. Sierra is a member of German Honor Society, National Honor Society, and Student Council. She's a 3-year member of Marching Band and a 5-year member of Indoor Drumline. She also holds a Silver Award in Girl Scouts. Sierra plans to attend Robert Morris University and study psychology, and later study at Duquesne University. Gavin Martin, escorted by mother Dana Martin, father Brian Martin, and stepmother Shelley Martin. Gavin is a 4-year member of the Marching Band and a 3-year member of Indoor Drumline. He is also a Boy Scout, a member of KROTC, and plays in the musical pit orchestra. Gavin has attended Fay West Honors Band and PMEA District Band. He plans to attend college and major in music. Regis Ober, escorted by his mother Kim Ober. Regis is a 5-year member of the Marching Band and a 4-year member of the Jazz Band. He plans to attend college and study software engineering. Megan Prinky, escorted by parents Janine and Scott Prinky. Megan is a member of the Color Guard and is part of the Protective Services program at the CPC. She plans to attend college and study theater arts. Taylor Schomer, escorted by mother Dawn Schomer, father Daniel Schomer, and stepmother Jessica Schomer. Taylor is a member of the National Honor Society and the Yearbook Club. She's a 4-year member of the Color Guard and has played softball for 13 years. Taylor has received the Bronze and Silver Award for Girl Scouts and was on the CCC's 2014 Homecoming Court. She plans to attend college and study social sciences.
Nick C. Hopper, escorted by mother Amanda Jones. Nick is a 2-year member of the Marching Band and a 3-year member of Indoor Drumline. Nick is also a member of the Bible Club. He plans to attend college and major in music. Jillian Showman, escorted by parents Jerry and Taryn Showman. Jillian is a 4-year member of the Marching Band. She is also a member of National Honor Society, German Club, and Student Council. Jillian volunteers at Fayette Friends of Animals and plans to attend college to become a veterinary technician. Heather Stazetsky, escorted by parents Teresa and Paul Stazetsky. Heather is a 4-year member of the Marching Band. She is Secretary of National Honor Society, Vice President of National Spanish Honor Society, and Captain of Reading Competition Team. Heather is also a member of the Penn State 4.0 Club, Academic All-Stars, and Student Council. She plans to attend college and major in biomedical engineering. Haley Swift, escorted by parents Jason and Missy Swift. Haley is one of this year's drum majors as well as a 3-year member of the Marching Band. She is a member of National Honor Society, Student Council, and Prom Committee. Haley is an academic all-star and plans to attend the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown to receive a bachelor's degree in nursing. Dylan Umble, escorted by parents Kelly and Ronald Umble. Dylan is a 2-year member of the Marching Band. He is also a member of the Penn State 4.0 Club and Academic All-Stars. He plans to attend college. Joshua Vincent, escorted by parents Ed and Lynn Vincent. Joshua is a 2-year member of the Marching Band and is an honors student. Joshua Wiltrout, escorted by parents Steve and Lori Wiltrout. Joshua is a member of the National Honor Society, Senior Class Play, and the Past 2 CAHS Musical. He received first place at Skills USA State Competition, is president of the Bible Club, and volunteers at Springfield Township Volunteer Hose Company. He plans to pursue a career in electronics. Mr. Martin would like to thank all of this year's senior class members for their hard work and dedication to the Marching Band program.
That might be a blessing.
Since 1937, the Student Association Incorporated, known as SAI, has served the CalU student body by providing activities, programs, and services. Every enrolled student has the ability to take part in over 125 different clubs and organizations. Managing participation in every SAI activity is easy with OrgSync, a powerful tool for staying connected. Located 1 mile from campus, the SAI Farm has 94 acres of meeting and recreational space. SAI, it's your student association.
CUTV News Center brings you the best in local news, weather, entertainment, and sports.
A new building is being constructed and it is estimated.
We take a look at our local temperatures for this morning. Right around Du Bois, we have 38 degrees.
Swimmer Diana Nyad and former pro hockey player Sean Avery.
With the PSAC preseason home.
CUTV News Center, live, Thursdays at 5. High School Roundup is your place for local high school coverage. From highlights of the game of the week to all of the scores and standings from around the region, local high school fans will be ready when the lights come on Friday night. High School Roundup only on CUTV. You can relive all of the action from your favorite CUTV program today. From regional championships to high school football, you can take home your favorite CUTV game or event to relive anytime.
Just send a return address and DVD information with $16.95 per DVD to 250 University Avenue, care of CUTV. Order today.
And welcome back here at Campbell Field here in Connellsville, Pennsylvania. We are about to start the second half here. Connellsville Falcons lead the Kiski Area Cavaliers 17-0. My name is Matt Hagee. Alongside of me is Zach Prosper's getting ready for both teams are out on the field here for the second half. I mean, first half it's been all Connellsville. We're going to take a look at the stats here. You can see 153. That's been where Connellsville's really coming strong. Over 26 yards, 61 yards, and 19 yards there on passing. 14 to 45 yards. But this is the key stat right here. 2 turnovers. If those 2 turnovers don't happen, Zach, I think Connellsville could really have opened this game up even more.
Yeah, those turnovers really stalled their drives out, but Kiski's not been able to capitalize off of them. 26 yards rushing compared to 153. That's an insane amount of rushing yards in one half for a WPIAL high school football team. I mean, we've seen that a couple times before with Beth Center and Greensburg Central Catholic and other teams like that, Clareton, but it's Clareton. So Connellsville, their offense is doing some really good things so far tonight. I'd expect that to see that keep going as we are about to enter the third quarter, although Kiski does get the opening kickoff here in the second half.
That will be key, and you can see what Connellsville's been doing on some of these replays here. They've been using their speed to the outside, whether it's been Josh Cree, Braden Hone, Dylan Knopsnyder. But you can see right there, that was the first drive of the game for Connellsville. Braden Hone fumbled the ball there. And this was a 4th down play there. Pitch toss here to Lincoln Clayton. And Clayton trying to go up the middle there, and he was stopped by Connellsville. It stopped the drive right there. Kiski got called for a penalty, so it basically kept it the same way there. And this is Connellsville getting on the board here. Derek Brubaker rolling out there, finding his receiver, Austin Pusker. He makes a man miss, goes in for the touchdown. That was Connellsville's first touchdown of the game. Brubaker, he's had a lot of success rolling out and finding his targets open. He's had a couple of drops too. Now, Connellsville was driving from their own 6-yard line here, but they gave it off to Alex Blaney, and Blaney fumbled the ball, and that was the second of 2 fumbles that Connellsville's had so far in Kiski territory. But Connellsville comes back, they block the kick on the next drive, and the Connellsville defense has stood tall so far, and that's really been the difference so far, Zach.
Yeah, the difference has been really in the special teams and turnovers, and you see this one right here. This was the run that really I was ecstatic about because of shaking off the defender as we have the kickoff return to about the 35-yard line for Kiski.
And also, not to be mentioned there, a long 40-yard field goal there by Corey Fogel to make the score. 17-0 is where we are there. We saw Deshaun Bracey. He took the kickoff there to about the 33-yard line there. So Kiski's been having some decent field position to start from.
And the first drive of this second half is going to start with 11:57 on the clock.
Now Kuhn will line up there. He's got Clayton behind him, and he will give it up to Clayton up the middle, trying to establish the run game. But Connellsville was ready. It looks like about 2 on the play. Will bring up 2nd down and 8.
So Clayton, I mentioned this before in the first half, but now you're without Evans, number 2 for Kiski, who he is on the sideline, but I don't know if he's going to be able to come back to action. But Clayton was the outside runner, not the inside guy, and they've been trying to pull him inside, and it's not been working so far. I think you got to try and get him back to the outside and try and establish a running game off the tackles, and that would open up your passing game as well.
And not to mention, that first half took under an hour to complete. A lot of running as we see Clayton get the ball, bounces it out to the left side, and he is brought down on the play there by Andrew Cecil, the linebacker for the Falcons, and it'll bring up 3rd down for Kiski.
It's going to be 3rd and 5 coming up, a nice 3-yard gain. He went to the outside that time, and Clayton got some more yards than he did going to the inside. So I think you got to start seeing some more of him on the outside and try and get the speed rush towards the outside lanes and open it up towards the outside, offside of the tackles.
2 receivers each split out to each side there. Kuhn back to pass, fires, tries to do a screen pass. That is complete there to Cameron Turner, but Turner is well short of the 1st down.
That's going to be about a 3-yard gain, so it's going to be a 4th and 2. Kiski had something going there, had a nice pass. The receiver did fall down, though. That's what stopped his progress. If he was able to stay up, he probably would have gotten a 1st down. But 4th and 2 now. Collins going to come back out to punt. We saw this too many times in the first half where Kiski would punt after they were getting something going on offense, and that's not a way to win a football game when you're down 17-0 especially.
And they have to watch to see if a kick gets blocked there. And it's well blocked that time. Braden Hone back to receive. He had a long punt return called back on a block in the back there, but that punt's going to take a Kiski bounce inside the Connellsville 10-yard line there. So that'll be the third drive of the game. Connellsville will start inside their own 10.
And that's going to roll dead at about the 8-yard line. So a pretty decent punt right there from Collins. And Hone just kind of let it go. And I understand letting it go, but at the same time, maybe just go under it and catch the ball instead of letting it go, because then you get all that difference made up on the bounces from the ball. So you see, High School Roundup is the place to go on CUTV for weekly scores, schedules. Our favorite segment probably is our blue ribbon play, seeing all the get off me sons and
90-yard runs.
90-yard runs to win a game by Center Frazier. But that's where you got to go to see it all. High School Roundup airs weekly throughout on CUTV.
And Alex Blaney will lead off this Connellsville drive here with a short run there. He got 2 yards to bring up 2nd down and 8. But with those picks, Zach, I have one game up on you. And by some of these scores I was looking at halftime, I was very agitated at the one. But I have an advantage here, so there's a possibility we could be tied going into the final week.
Yeah, the games you're talking about, Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, TJ beating them 21-0. But GCC Springdale, I picked GCC, you picked Springdale. And Springdale's kind of taking it to him right now.
Now here's Knopf-Snyder. He's got a lane in front of him, down the left sideline, cuts it back inside, 45-50, down to the 45-yard line there. A big run there from the speedster for the Falcons.
And Knopf-Snyder, he was the outside runner they needed in the first half for Connellsville. Does the exact same thing on this one. Goes from about the 10-yard line to the 45, so a 40-yard run on this play, or actually a 45-yard run on this play. Knopf-Snyder is such a great runner. Out of the 153 rushing yards that Connellsville did have in the first half, I would expect him to have maybe around 60 or 70 of those, and probably eclipsed over 100 with that run right there, as Connellsville is starting to establish another scoring drive going.
Alex Blaney lands up there to another wing formation, Hone in motion for the Falcons. And a long pitch there to Hone again. Right side, he's got a hole in front of him. Cuts it back, and he's going to be brought down about a yard short there of the first down, bring up a 2nd down and 1.
The 2nd and 1 coming up. You've got 8:41 and running to go here in the third quarter, so time moving fast again. You saw here a pitch, a very long pitch, going to the outside with Hone, who did fumble the ball earlier, so he's really kind of picked up the slack there and be able to control the ball and make sure he doesn't lose possession as he goes outside and evading a couple tacklers. So good job there of Hone busting it out, making sure he controls the ball as well.
So now Brubaker will send White in motion. He'll be an inside handoff to White. He cuts it to the right side. He's got a hole in front of him. Blocker, 20, 15, 10, 5. White to the goal line. Touchdown, Connellsville. Stephen White with his first touchdown of the game. It's 23-0 Falcons.
And that was a great run by Stephen White. He went to the outside, cut it back into the middle, then went back out to the outside, away from the defenders, towards the sidelines. Watch here, up the middle, then cuts it to the outside towards the sideline. That's the kind of running style I like to see personally. Break it up the middle, get around the defenders, have your blockers out in front of you, get to the outside of it, and then go all the way into for 6, make it a 23-0.
Corey Fogel on the attempt, the extra point there. Ball is up, kick is good. So, Connellsville, they stop Kiski, and they run 92 yards down the field from that man right there on your screen, Stephen White. We have 8:07 left in the third quarter. It is 24-0 Connellsville Falcons.
You can relive all of the action from your favorite CUTV program today. From regional championships to high school football, you can take home your favorite CUTV game or event to relive anytime. Just send a return address and DVD information with $16.95 per DVD to 250 University Avenue, care of CUTV. Order today.
CUTV. California. University. Television.
Welcome back here to Campbell Field in the third quarter. Connellsville fresh off a long run there from Stephen White to extend their lead 24-0. But, Zach, it's been Knopfsteiner, it's been White, it's been Hone, it's been Cree. Connellsville's got a lot of weapons in their arsenal.
Yeah, Connellsville has really gotten a lot to work with. It's 24-0 and a very long kickoff coming against Kiski.
Turner fumbles the ball, and he picks it back up there, and he's going to be wrapped up well short of the 20-yard line there. So Kiski, for the first time tonight, they're really going to be backed up.
And, Kiski can't have a lot more go wrong for them than it has gone on offense. They just haven't gotten anything going. They need to get down the field. As you look at the touchdown there, White able to bounce out, make it 24-0. And as we say 24-0, we have a couple updated scores for you as well. McKeesport up 21-14 at half over Norwin. And a very surprising one for us at the CUTV crew. Trinity, they're not a bad team in AAA Big 9. They're up 21-7 on West Mifflin.
Yeah,
that's kind of a surprise so far.
Trinity, they're not out of the playoff hunt either. But Kuhn is back to pass here, so they'll start the drive. He will hit up his receiver, John Bracey, on the far side of the field. Looks like he got about 5 yards on the play. That bring up 2nd down and 5.
So 2nd down and 5 coming up off of that nice pitch and catch play right there from Kuhn. That's what he's got to get going. Those short passes have been there for him tonight. Just the receivers have not been able to turn around and get up the field in enough time. The blocking has not been in there into the secondary and the second level towards the linebackers. You got to get the blocking out there if you want to be able to advance downfield, and it just has not been working.
And John Bracey, it seems he's the backup there to Justice Evans, so we might be seeing the last of Justin Evans tonight. This is a pitch toss there to Tariq Gant all around the near side of the field, and it looks like he got a first down on that run.
And he did. That's number 27, Gant, you mentioned. So getting the first down is going to stop the clock momentarily. 7:19. It's going to get going about right now, though. So Kiski, they don't have a lot of time to work with. You're down 24-0. You were down 28-10 at one point in the Altoona game. That's actually what the final score ended up being. So Kiski's offense is not a big score capability offense. You got to see what they got to do with the rest of the game.
Now Kuhn takes the snap. He rolls to the far side of the field, fires, and pass is almost intercepted there by Knopfsteiner.
And what can this kid not do? He's really been that dude for Connellsville so far through the night, running the ball, almost coming up with an interception right there. There's not a lot he's not capable of doing for this Connellsville team, and he is a senior, though, so they're going to miss him next year when he doesn't come back. But at the same time, Connellsville being alive in the playoff chase, having him at your disposal is a very helpful weapon on your defense and as well as your offense, as we've seen.
2nd down and 10 for Kiski at their own 31. Handoff, Gant up the middle, trying to plow his way forward, and looks like he got about a yard. And that's about it there. It looks like we'll bring up 3rd down and 9.
And they're actually going to call about 3rd and 8. They're going to give him a little bit more generous of a spot. So 2-yard gain, 3rd and 8 coming up. So not a lot on that run right there. So Kiski faced with 3rd and long again. You have to think a pass here because Kuhn, he's not had a lot of time to throw, but you have to start throwing the ball because you're down 24-0 and get it down the field.
Now Kuhn sends out of the shotgun with Gant next to him. And movement up front here, so we'll see if it was a false start or encroachment. And what I'm seeing, it's going to be a false start on Kiski.
That's going to be a false start.
False start against the offense.
It looks like it might have been number 89 for Kiski. And that number 89 on the roster, I believe, is Jake Reed. He's an offensive lineman. So make it 3rd and 13 now, and the clock will start again. But Kiski's offense just has not been able to get anything going tonight. It's been a struggle for them, and trying to make everything go right. This penalty just does not help things.
So now 3rd down and long, 3rd down and 13 from the Cavalier 28. Kuhn lines out with 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near, and 1 sidecar. And now another flag comes out.
Again, foul, delay of game.
And now a delay of game, so it's getting even worse for Kiski from a 3rd and 8 and now turned into a 3rd and 18.
And so 10 yards lost because of penalties, and the clock's going to start again because of it doesn't stop with a penalty per se. But now you've really pinned yourself deep in your own zone. You got to go 18 yards. I don't think Kiski's really had a play of 18 yards since their first play with Lincoln Clayton and a long run of about 20 yards.
Lincoln Clayton stands in behind Kuhn and takes a shotgun snap here. Kuhn back to pass, screen pass. He's got Clayton block in front of him. Penalty flag down, so it looks like this run's going to be coming back, but it's not even close to the first down to begin with.
And it's a block in the back. It's going to affect Kiski. I think they would probably decline this penalty though and make it a 4th and about 8. So they gained about 10 yards on that play. I would really expect them to decline the penalty, make Kiski forced into a punt situation.
And I mean, like I said, that, and they're not here going to even wave off the flag there. So, but Kiski, regardless of the low flag, lack of flag, they're still going to have to punt regardless.
Yeah, you could see some of the Connellsville fans booing a little bit, but it really makes no difference. I think Kiski was going to come out there and punt anyways, because even if you didn't decline the penalty, it's still 4th and 8. So there's really not much of a difference here. I think it's just easier waving off the penalty than just having to go through the whole process of getting the penalty call on the field.
High snap there, and the penalty flag is out. So we'll see what that there, but Braden Hone will take it at about his own 30, trying to cut back. Gets a block, trying to get back. Another penalty flag out, so it looks like we could have flags on both teams here, and I see another penalty flag came out.
So there are 3 separate possible penalties on this play. There's one probably against Kiski on the offense. There's definitely a block in the back against Connellsville. The third one I'm not exactly sure about. We'll have to get all of them deliberated between the refs and get the calls on the field coming up. It looks like it's still going to be Connellsville ball though.
So Braden Hone trying to cut it. It wasn't at the sideline there, so you cannot really see. It came out really late, but we'll see the officials call here in just a second.
Illegal motion against the offense. Walk in the back against the return team. Face mask against the kicking team. The result, all penalties wipe out. Replay 4th down.
So now Kiski will get another chance to punt it again there with all those flags offsetting.
And I'm honestly kind of confused about this because I've heard of offsetting penalties where there's been one on each side and they offset. When there's 3 though, 2 against one team, I'm not sure that they actually should offset. From what I've experienced in football and calling so many high school and college games so far with you and the rest of the crew. So, but a replay of 4th down coming up.
But it was interesting too because that face mask happened after the run too. But nonetheless, Connellsville will get the ball here. The ball just rolling, keep rolling out to the 29-yard line of the Connellsville Falcons here. So that's where they'll start. And Zach, with the way they've been running the ball here, they could really take a good chunk out of this game away.
Yeah, you've only got 4:34 remaining in the 3rd quarter now. So you take possibly to the end of this quarter, go into the 4th, and take a lot of time out. But you see the UTAP challenge again, PA American Water Facebook page. Go there and vote for Cal U to receive a free water bottle refilling station, as there was another added penalty, I believe, on the play. I was not clear on what it was, though.
It looks like they will start 1st and 10 at their own 33 here. 4:34 remaining. And now misdirection handoff to Cree to right side. He's got a lot of space in front of him. He's got a 1st down out the midfield, still going in, wrestled out of bounds at about the Kiski 49.
Yeah, so another new set of downs, and maybe Connellsville is not going to run out of time in this quarter because they're running into the end zone so fast on these drives tonight. Their first scoring drive only took about 3.5 minutes, and all of them since then have taken maybe that time or less. So getting the 1st downs in all these runs stops the clock, a little bit, but it keeps it going, but you're still getting all these 1st downs in successive order.
So now Connellsville once again inside Kiski territory, just to the other side of the C in the middle of the field now. 1st down and 10. Brubaker back to pass. Rolls to the left, cuts it back inside, close to the line of scrimmage, but he's got a man open. That's Norton. Norton still going inside the 10-yard line, rappels down at the 9. But I'll tell you what, Zach, I think he was past the line of scrimmage.
He was definitely past the line of scrimmage. That's going to be an illegal forward pass, and that one's going to be coming back. So count that reception off the board, as this one's definitely going to be coming back. The way that a illegal forward pass is called, you can have a little bit of your body out in front of the line as long as you have a part of you behind it. As long as there's a part of you behind the original line of scrimmage, you're fine. But you'll see right here, the original line of scrimmage is where that 1 is. Draw an imaginary line there. Throws the ball It was very close, but it looked like he was just forward of the line of scrimmage. So that's going to be 2nd and 15. It's a loss of down and a 5-yard penalty on the play. So 2nd and 15 coming up instead of 1st and 10.
The funny thing is I thought Brubaker was just going to take off and run there, but he tried to make most of it. It's a tough play there. He got it out to Norton, and Norton we saw drop 2 passes earlier. He made a nice catch there. But now Connellsville sets up 2nd down and 14 from their own 47. Standard wing formation. And in misdirection there to Hone up the middle, and he gets back to the original line of scrimmage there. And it'll bring up down a 3rd down and 10.
It's 3rd and 10 coming up, and we have a score update from a game that really affects Connellsville. If they're able to win this game, they still need a lot of help. Right now, Altoona is beating Hempfield 14-6 in the 2nd quarter, so Altoona needs to lose for Connellsville to be able to have a chance. They play next week. If Connellsville can win, Altoona loses, then it really starts to jumble things up. But if Altoona wins, they clinch that 5th spot.
Should be a great game up in Altoona Mansion Park. Hosts a lot of big state games are there, but it's a nice stadium. Brubaker back to pass, rolls, fires. Pass is caught. What a juggling catch there by Griffin Thompson.
Yeah, what a catch. It is enough for a 1st down. They're going to move the chains after stopping the clock momentarily. Well, look at the replay of the catch right here. Brubaker, he's going back. He's rolling out a little bit as they start the clock. Throws it over. Loses a little bit of sight of it, but he does end up come up with it. So a good job from a replay camera to able to come back to the player as he's catching the ball.
So now a new set of downs for the Connellsville Falcons at the KISKI 38. Wing formation extends. White in motion. He goes to the left side there. White, he's dangerous. We saw he's got another big hole there. 25, tries to cut it inside. Tries to get into the middle of the field. Still going. And down at the 15-yard line, Stephen White about 1 block away from another touchdown.
And there's no stopping this running game for Connellsville so far tonight. They stopped the clock again with 3:02, moving the chains. You're going to see it start right now, though. They've wasted maybe a minute on this clock getting so far down the field. They take no time at all rushing the ball down the throats of Kiski's defense.
So now Connellsville will set up at the 14-yard line of Kiski here. Wing formation there. Looks like he's got a new back out there. It's Jeremy Welsh. He's a senior running back, and he's in motion. And Welsh will get the handoff to the right. Trying to cut back, and he gets ripped down there by Kiana Britton for Kiski, and he got nothing on that play.
2nd and 10 coming up. That was a great tackle by the Kiski defender. That's what Kiski needs. They need a big defensive stop. You see right there, a great tackle wrapping up around their waist. Number 25 for Kiski. You said his name already, Trades Holton. A great tackle right there.
So now Connellsville has 2nd down and 10 from the 14. And now handoff to White, and he plows his way forward to about the 10-yard line there. So you got about 4 or 5 yards on the play. Will set up 3rd down.
3rd and 5 is what they're going to call it. And Connellsville is not afraid to kick a field goal in this situation.
No.
We clearly saw at the end of the 1st half they were able to make a 40-yarder. The kicker for Connellsville, his name escapes me at the moment, Corey Fogel, number 20. He's a junior. He was starting to kick a little angry after he was run into, and that's really shown tonight. He's done a really good job.
Now Craig goes up the middle there, and it looks like he's going to be short of the 1st down.
He's going to be about 3 yards short, a 4th and 3. Matt, what do you do here? Because it's definitely 4 down territory, I think, but you're up 24-0 with over a minute left, about a minute 8, and so
Brubaker's going back out there, so they're going to just answer our question right there. But the way they've been running the ball, why not? And you have a lot of buffer room with 24 points there as we get under a minute to go here. Bring up 4th down and 2 from the Kiski 7. 2-back set. Play action. Rollout. Fires. End zone. Looking for the 1-yard line. That is Knob Snyder, and it's 1st and goal, Connellsville.
What a catch right there by Knob Snyder. We'll look at it on the replay as a great diving grab at the 1-yard line. Easily could have been marked out of bounds if he wasn't able to keep his feet in. He was wide open on the out route, though. Just a big tackle there by the Kiski defender able to knock him out, but only 1 yard to go. I definitely think Connellsville's going to be able to pound it into the end zone here, barring a possibility of a turnover.
Keonta Brendan on the stop there. It's Blaney up the middle. Blaney looking end zone. No signal. No, he stopped down short of the goal line.
So he's going to be marked about the 1 inch line before that goal line. So you have 28 seconds to go in this quarter. Do you go for it, or do you just let the clock run out?
We'll see there. We'll see a. Looks like we have injured Kiski player here.
And we cannot tell who that injured player is, but he is down right now. He's not moving. Actually, that's a Connellsville player, it looks like.
Oh my goodness.
He is down.
He's not even moved a muscle.
He is moving his arms, though. That is a good sign. It kind of reminds us of the Pascal Dupuis hit in the Penguins game last night where he was barely moving, but he is moving from what we can see, his arms at least, so we hope for a speedy recovery for that young man there. Cannot tell who it is just yet. But, Matt, I mentioned before, 22 seconds now remaining. 2nd and goal about the half-a-yard line. I think, honestly, if I was Connellsville's coach Dave McDonald, I understand trying to go for the score, just waste the timeout, then get the score, because you never know. Kiski could have a miracle comeback somewhere in their pockets and start to pull it out and start paying some dollar bills, trying to come, gaining yard by yard, getting the ball all the way towards the end zone. So we're going to see the Connellsville player run off under his own power. Good to see they're able to walk it off.
Yeah, I looked bad at first there. That's Garrett Snyder. He is a senior offensive lineman, so this is his final game here at Campbell Field. So good for him. He's getting a nice standing ovation from his Connellsville students section. Connellsville lining up to the far side of the stadium, which is kind of peculiar a little bit. They normally see Connellsville closer to the press box side, but some stadiums are different. But now it's 2nd and goal here from the 1 yard line. Brubaker hands off Blaney. And no, he showed up, stop again. So Kiski standing tall once more. We got 5 seconds left here, and that will be the final play of the 3rd quarter.
And I agree. I understand you went for it and you didn't get in, but I think it's best to waste the time, then get the score, push out as far as you can with as little time remaining as possible.
So we will go to the 4th quarter here, and Zach, instead of going to commercial break, we are going to stay here and do one of our favorite traditions, the hot dog score, a very competitive hot dog score that Elizabeth Ford still leads in this competition here, 24-0 Connellsville over Kiski. Brownsville was 0.5 off taking the title away from him here. Connellsville had a very nice concession. They had sauerkraut on their hot dogs, which is a personal favorite, but a 9.6. So Connellsville still cannot dethrone Elizabeth Ford. Elizabeth Ford just has to go through Carmichael's, and they will be crowned the champions. And I'll tell you what, Zach, I say this every single week, Chick-fil-A is the difference.
You cannot beat Chick-fil-A. I'm from Georgia. I understand what a difference Chick-fil-A makes in a person's life. So, having a 9.73, Brownsville was very close to 9.73. Elizabeth Ford at 9.75. Unfortunately for myself, I did not try the Connellsville hot dog because story last year, had the hot dog. I ended up passing out, going to the emergency room. But we came back here. We conquered our Connellsville demons as a crew because the truck died last year as well.
Yeah.
Everything just went wrong. It was a joke at halftime. This is what a second half of a Connellsville football game looks like because we didn't get to see it last year. So we've been able to come back here, have a pretty nice environment, have a nice night. It's been a pretty darn good game so far as well.
And Knopfsnyder around the corner. He scoots into the end zone, untouched, touchdown. And Zach, that's Knopfsnyder's first touchdown of the game.
And that's kind of surprising. He's done such a good running job where the touchdowns have gone to Hone and White and everybody else but Knopfsnyder. It's good to see his effort rewarded, especially his last home game. And maybe his last game in front of the Connellsville fans as well, because I seriously doubt they'll be able to get a home playoff game if they end up making it. So his last game here at Falcons Stadium, able to get a touchdown, something that he can remember for the rest of his life. And maybe if he goes and plays at the next level as well, maybe D1, FCS, D2. I could not overhear what his plans were, but yeah, if he keeps playing, he's a very valuable asset as an outside speed rusher.
Now, low snap here. Corey Fogle gets it off. Low kick. Oh, off the crossbar and no good. You see sometimes it hit the crossbar and go over, but no luck there for Fogle. But nonetheless, Connellsville well away ahead here in the 4th quarter. 30-0 over the Kiski Area Cavaliers. Stay tuned for the rest of the game here on CUTV.
A boy born in Joplin, Missouri was fascinated by anything with wheels and a motor. The odds of him winning both the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400 in the same year, 1 in 195 million. The odds of the child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 110. I'm Jamie McMurray, and my niece has autism.
Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
29 down. 4 letters to describe excellence in college television. I know. CUTV. California University Television.
And welcome back here to Campbell Field here in the fourth quarter in Connellsville, Pennsylvania. Connellsville fresh off scoring a touchdown there, a 1-yard run there for Nil and Knopfner on 3rd and goal. And Zach, I mean, it's been all Connellsville tonight, and these players, they're well, and their seniors are well off and going on to their future and getting a win to send out the senior class at Falcon Stadium.
Yeah, it's always great to be able to get a win in your last senior game. You still got a little bit of time left on the clock, though, so you still have to close it out. But 30-0 is going to be hard to come back from if you're Kiski.
Cameron Turner trying to bounce it out there. Connellsville, after running around for a little bit, he'll be stopped at his own 25-yard line there, so that's where Kiski will stop. And Zach will, over the break, I was checking out another score, that Pine Richland Central Catholic game we're talking about now. Again, I mean, this game will be aired on Sunday, so everybody will know what the scores are. But at the time, Pine Richland up 28-21 over Pittsburgh Central Catholic. And Zach, I mean, Pine Richland used to be a AAA school, but I mean, they started Quad A, I'd say 2 years ago. They've stepped in and really proved a force.
Yeah, I could see that possibly being the championship matchup in Quad A this year as well, but you still got teams like Penn Trafford, that's in the Foothills Conference as well, that are pretty darn good as team to face with as well.
Penn Trafford definitely is, and this is Gant up the middle, plowing his way over, and a decent gain there. Looks like he got about 7-8 yards, but late penalty flags coming in.
And we'll have to see what the penalty is for. It might be a face mask penalty based on where it was thrown, because usually in the offensive backfield you see it's a holding. Here, usually in this area, it's going to be a face mask, but you got to see.
So, it's indeed an incidental face mask on Connellsville. So with that incidental 5 yards, extra 5 yards, it will be a 1st down and 10 for the Kiski Cavaliers.
And that's the first time I've ever heard an incidental face mask called. I obviously wasn't paying attention because there was an earlier one in the game, but it might have been when we had some other things going on. But you know what, Matt? I like having an incidental face mask. I want that implemented in the NFL, because as an NFL fan, when I see someone just grab a face mask and they get a 15-yard penalty for it, when it looks like they just touch it for a second, 5 yards is a lot better than giving the whole 15 for an accidental contact.
No 1st down, and now on 1st down, this is Lincoln Clayton bouncing out to the right side. He's got some room to scoot here and gets just across midfield and ripped down violently out of bounds, but a good hard run there for Lincoln Clayton.
And number 1 for Connellsville, Josh Scree. His helmet came off on the play. And correct me if I'm wrong, Matt. If your helmet comes off, you have to sit off the next play, don't you?
That's right.
Because he is still out there, and that's a missed call for the refs. They've done a pretty good job tonight, but Cree's helmet did come off, and he is still out on the field.
Oh, I don't know who there's a coach that took both knees in there. I hope he's okay. But nonetheless, Kiski gets another 1st down here as they just enter Connellsville territory at the 49. This is Clayton trying to bounce to the left side there. Still moving forward there, and Clayton's starting to run off get some nice runs there for Kiski.
And this is the Clayton that we saw in the 1st quarter and the 1st drive for Kiski. We've not seen that since. He's been able to do a good job of running the ball. A good, healthy 6 or so yards on that one, making it 2nd and 3. And you still got 10:40 and running remaining in the 4th quarter. At least get yourself a score. Don't get shut out with only a couple games remaining.
Kiski, they only got 1 game next week, and everybody at WPIAL only going 9 weeks. And a lot of schools like District 3, they go 10. But nonetheless, Kuhn back to pass there. He's got John Bracey on the right side there, and Connellsville well wrapped them up there. I don't even think he got a yard.
And no gain on that one. If anything, he might have lost a yard, and he did lose a yard, they're saying. So 3rd and 4 coming up on this one. So we're going to see Kiski. This is where it happens. They get to the 3rd downs, they can't convert them. This has been their kryptonite all night long, where they just have not been able to convert on third down, the most important aspect of any offense. And we've seen so far this year, the offense just has not been there. It's really fallen a long way down from that playoff team they had a year ago.
Now Cooney's got Gant with them. 2 receivers split to the far side, 1 to the near. Gant woke up the middle. No, he kept it himself. Pitched it out to Bracey. Bracey trying to get some yards, but Connellsville smashes him down. I don't even think he got a yard on that one. I think he lost 2.
He did lose a couple yards on that one. That was an awkward pitch. He was being turned around and just threw the ball, and it happened to go to his own guy.
Yeah.
He happened to go to his own guy instead of maybe being picked off in return. Looks like you have an injury on the field over there for Kiski.
Bracey just got back up, so he looks like to be okay there. He was down for a second, but he got hit hard there by Connellsville.
Yeah, he did. So good to see him up and moving again, though. But, I talked about Kiski, a playoff team from last year, and they were 5-5. Imagine how much different that was, because you had Gateway in the Foothills Conference. Now Penn Trafford's your really big team, and McKeesport as well. You had Gateway in there as well, and they moved down to AAA, and they're probably not even going to make playoffs because they started out 0-3 under Coach Tom Nola, who left Clareton to go to Gateway. Surprising things have happened this year all around the WPIAL.
So now Kuhn will line up in the shotgun here on 4th down. Why not just go for it? Kuhn back to pass, fires downfield. He's got a man open, but he just overshot Deshaun. Bracey and Kiski will turn it over on downs around midfield to the Falcons.
I like the shot at it, though. I like that they took the shot downfield. Don't just give in with a running play. I like that they had a stretch route with the receiver, try and throw it deep. Kuhn had the arm there, just the receiver was a little bit too slow, just not able to get his arms extended out enough to be able to catch the ball.
So now Connellsville will take over there, and we're going to take a look at our CUTV schedule next week. Our last CUTV game of the week there, Jeff Morgan at Carmichael's, and I'll tell you what, Zach, it's going to be the battling for the last spot out of the Tri-County South, the Black and Blue Bowl, oldest rivalry in Greene County. Now Cree takes around the right side there. He's got a lot of lane in front of him there, out to the 30-yard line, and it's just, Dom Snyder, Cree, anybody else, and they're still rattling off a lot of big games.
Yeah, and you mentioned our game next week, Jeff Morgan, Carmichael's, the Black and Blue Bowl. It could come down to deciding who might be the 4th team in the playoffs for the Tri-County South. Although Avella, when they were beating Carmichael's, they would have an advantage at that point. Also, we cannot go without being remiss that it is going to be Creighton Rabs and Cody Jeanette, a couple of our seniors. We have our own senior night. It's going to be their last high school football game as well. They're going to be on the call for that one as well, and send them out in grand style in the Black and Blue Bowl. So I want to say our words to them as they are about ready to be leaving us soon. Not just yet this semester, though. Yeah. They still have a little bit of time. But our last high school football game. So good to have worked with them over the last couple of years. So we'll get back to action now, though, as timeout was taken on the field.
And, Zach, we're going to take a look at our upcoming CUTV broadcast tomorrow. California, Indiana. It's the Coal Bowl. Doesn't get anything bigger than that right there. And then we got a soccer game there against nationally ranked Mercyhurst. And then next week talk about Jeff Morgan Car Motors. But, Zach, I'm pumped for the Coal Bowl, and I know you're pumped as well for the Coal Bowl.
Yeah, especially after Cal U just throttled Slippery Rock by a margin of about 22 points. If they go in there and they can beat IUP, California has the fast track to the PSAC West Championship, and that's all that matters at this point in the season because they have that one loss. It's still going to be tough for them to make D2 playoffs.
They need some revenge, too, from last year as we see a handoff. And that is Welsh cutting the left side there, the senior running back there. And you can see a lot of emotion off that Connellsville bench there. They really want to see that senior get a lot of yards there, maybe a score.
Yeah, and that's his first run of the night, I believe. And Jeremy Welsh kind of reminded me on a run of another Welsh we've seen a couple times this year, Anthony Welsh, who was famous for Boom Get Off Me on High School Roundup, if you've seen that. For Beth Center, Bulldogs running attack. Welsh getting a good outside carry there. Looks like he's still out on the field as well.
Yes, he will line up in the wing with Cree, and Brubaker's got Blaney behind them there. 2nd down and 3. Handoff inside, and that time loss of a yard there. So Connellsville trying to go the same thing there with Blaney, but he goes nowhere. And Blaney is also a senior there, so, these seniors have really stepped up for Connellsville tonight, though.
Yeah, that's something I noticed before the game even started. When they did their senior night introductions, Connellsville has a lot of seniors on this team, and that's going to change the dynamic of their roster next year. Going through this, there's a lot of seniors and juniors. They are very heavily upperclassmen team. No freshmen at all either. So there's a lot of turnover year to year on this Connellsville roster.
Now end around the Cree on the right side, trying to cut it back. He does. 15-10-5, just pushed out near the goal line, and Connellsville will have first and goal.
And this is all Connellsville's been doing tonight. When they get into a pinch and need a first down, just hand it off in the backfield, watch the guy run to the outside, get the necessary yardage, and a little bit more as well. As you got 7 minutes and 16 seconds now and running. Excuse me, not running yet. 7:16 to go in the fourth quarter.
And Zach, we are coming up on, we're not even 9 minutes, we're not even at 9 o'clock yet, and this game is almost over, so this game has moved rapidly fast here. First down and goal for Connellsville Falcons. End around Welsh, left side, trying to cut it outside, but he cannot. Kiski has well wrapped them up there. He might have lost a yard on that one.
And Welsh, from the emotion that you saw on the Connellsville sideline, they definitely want him to get into the end zone. It's one of those stories, you know, all the seniors play on senior night, but there's always some that don't play as much as others throughout the season. You want to see him get into the end zone from the emotion that we could sense from the Connellsville bench.
So now Connellsville has second down and 6. That was like no gain on the play there, so we'll see what back Connellsville decides to go to. And it looks like it will be Welsh again. No, excuse me, that is number 32. It's William Bell, and he's got a touchdown.
So William Bell, number 32, he's a junior running back, so he's still got a year left, but he gets into the end zone, making it a very lopsided score yet again. So Connellsville now standing 36-0, and this is going to bring in the mercy rule as well, where the clock will not stop from here on out.
So Corey Fogle will go on there for the extra point there, but that was William Bell's first action of the game there. It looked like it was Walsh again with all the 30s on the field, but good for William Bell. He's a junior, so he'll be one of those feature backs next season. Ball is spotted, kick is away, and that kick is good. So Fogle gets another extra point, and Connellsville extends their lead 37-0. Thanks to that man on your screen right there, William Bell, 37-0. Stay tuned for the last couple minutes of the game here on CUTV.
Explore new worlds. Read. Visit literacy.gov and let the journey begin.
Welcome back here to Campbell Field. We got 6:33 left here in the fourth quarter in Connellsville. Zach, they've been dominating. They're up 37-0 now over Kiski area Cavaliers, and they're setting themselves up still in playoff contention. They got that big game next week in Altoona.
Yeah, and Altoona, we were going to try and find the score in just a moment. If Altoona wins, they clinch that fifth spot, but Connellsville is still definitely alive for that sixth wild card.
And now a big kickoff return for Kiski, and that is Keonta Britton, and he's going to take it all the way for the touchdown. Kiski gets that touchdown, and Zach, I'll tell you what, that could be number one play of the week on High School Roundup.
That could be the number one play of the week. We have a lot of competition. We still have to see our Laurel Highlands highlights with Bell Vernon as well, but the only thing that this really signifies in this game is the running clock is no longer, because it's back into a less than 35-point difference. So we're not going to have running clock anymore, and I blame you for this because you said the game was going so fast that we might be getting out of here soon. Well, I blame you, sir.
I'll take the blame on that one, the old announcer's jinx on that one there. So Kiski lines up in a very one of those formations where they line up the whole, and Connellsville will take a timeout there. Kiski lined up most of their linemen on the left side and had like 3 players. We've seen that a couple times there but Connellsville will take the time out there. But we're going to take a look at this kickoff return again. It was a beauty.
Yeah, he just had an open lane, and he kept running. And with those colors, he kind of looks like a Reggie Bush with a 25 and the golden helmet. He just kept running. He lifted his head back, and he gave it all he had, trying to get to the end zone. Puts the ball up in celebration, knowing he finally got the first score for Kiski, and that's good to see. You never want to see a team get shut out in a game, even if, it ruins the mercy rule. So what? You never want to see them get shut out. It's 6:19 to go now in this one.
And Keontae Brenton is a senior on the Kiski squad, so his last game is going to be next week. So it's good to see him get his extra touchdown there.
And we're going to try and look up and see the Altoona score. See if I can find it on our score updates. Going through now. We have a lot of AAA games that are starting to get under wraps as well, possibly. Almost near Altoona. Getting down towards it. It is 35-6 Altoona now in the second quarter. That was updated about 13 minutes ago, as the extra point was good.
And Timothy Collins will get the extra point here for Kiski. Kiski breaks up the shutout with a long kick return there by Keontae Brenton. We'll go to commercial break. Stay tuned for the rest of the game here on CUTV.
For almost 30 years, CUTV has been the campus and community home for local news, sports, and entertainment. Broadcast in 100,000 homes in southwestern Pennsylvania, CUTV provides complete coverage of Vulcan sports as well as high school football coverage. Broadcast weekly live, CUTV News Center provides coverage of local and campus events, weekend weather, sports highlights, and feature stories. For more information on CUTV, check us out on the web, friend us on Facebook, or follow us on Twitter.
CUTV. California University Television.
Welcome back here to Campbell Field here in Connellsville. We got 6:19 remaining here in this CUTV game of the week. Connellsville well on their way here, 37-7. Kiski running that kick back there and slowing the game down. And my goodness, I take blame on that one for saying that the game's going fast, and then it slowed down again with the kick return. So, yeah.
Yeah, but it's just a Connellsville demon. We still have a couple to shake, and I am ashamed to admit I kept a tradition going here at CUTV where I turn the lights on and off in the press booth. So I've done that twice now. The first time I thought, okay, it's cool. I did it once. I just did it again during the break, and it kind of was embarrassing.
Nonetheless, there was a squib kick there, fielded by Austin Puskar. So Connellsville's got 6:18 remaining here. And Zach, and the way they run the ball, I mean, they had a lot of big runs there to be 6, but the Connellsville tries to play more conservative, not try to be fancy, just runs up the middle, just trying to run the clock out.
Yeah, and it's hard, though, because Connellsville's running offense has gotten outside so many times to get the first downs, which stops the clock, and they're actually starting the clock, so I guess the clock does not stop after the score is less than 35.
We also have a new quarterback in the game. That's Dylan Harshman. You hand it off to William Bell, who had the touchdown on the last drive there. So now Derek Brubaker's career looks like at Falcon Stadium here, Campbell Field, is over. So he'll go on the bench there. But, I mean, job well done for him. He's got to feel good. Finishing his home career on a good note there in Connellsville, just trying to get the backups in, get some playing time. Because this is the future right here. Dylan Harshman is going to be your starting quarterback next year, most likely.
And I would not be surprised to see if Connellsville has the ball at the end, get all the seniors out there for one last play. As number 6 is now quarterback Derek Orndorff.
And he'll hand off to Welsh. Welsh cutting up the middle. They got about 4 or 5 yards on the play there, so Welsh still in the game as a senior there. But you don't see Knopf Snyder, you don't see Cree, you don't see Braden Hone anymore in for Connellsville.
It's going to be 3rd and 1 coming up now. You've got 5:08 and running, so I guess I have been proven wrong. The clock does not stop, even if the score is brought down within 35. So
I think when the Mercy Rule score is hit, that's it. Like, it's not changing. So, yeah, so Connellsville
Yeah, where I'm from in Georgia, we don't have mercy rules, so it's still taking me 3 years to get used to even then.
Handoff, William Bell up the middle, trying to get close to first down there, and he's going to be close, 10 on the spot.
And they're going to keep the clock running because the clock does not stop anymore. So this very well could be the final drive of this game because Connellsville's running offense is just too much for Kiski's defense to stop. But I am glad to see Kiski did get on the board at some point in this game.
Yeah, it was a good punt return. I mean, it was a good kick return too. So it's you may definitely make a statement for the first score of the game there. So now we have first down and 10 from the 44-yard line. Connellsville gets the favorable spot, and it'll be an end around. Oh, a little fumble there off Joel's stash, and there's penalty flags everywhere. Good run here for Joel's stash, but it's going to be probably coming back there. Gets all the way down, still going. Somehow got out of it. So well, that's fun. I mean, a very fun run there by Joel's stash, but it's going to be coming back.
Well, I've never heard a run described as, well, that's fun. But, yeah, this one's definitely coming back. I think there was definitely a hold on Connellsville on this play. So that might have to go in the top 3 plays for High School Roundup of ones that did not count. We'll have to maybe do that at the end of our year show. So we'll have to see, though. That was a phenomenal run.
Yeah, I mean,
it was a fun run, I guess you could say.
It was very fun.
But,
it was fun to watch.
It was very fun to watch. That's part of our job being broadcasters, get to watch all the fun runs and stuff and the fun punt returns and kick returns. But this is going against Connellsville. It is going to be a holding.
So holding against Connellsville negates the long touchdown run there by Joel Stash, the junior running back there. But we'll see if Connellsville tries to go back for it. He fumbles the ball right here. It looked like it was a weird pitch. But then he cuts around to the left side here and gets a lot of speed, makes a great cut right here. Stay on the sidelines. We see the end of it there, but it was nonetheless a good run there. So we'll see what Connellsville does here. 3:45 remaining, first down and long from the 30.
Looks like it's first down and 24.
And now a handoff there to Luke Coons. Coons still going, is wrestled out of bounds at about the 34, 35-yard line there.
And they're going to keep the clock running because the clock will not stop at any point except for change of possession and a score. So we have 3:20 to go. They've wasted about half of the time on the clock, still trying to waste just a little bit more and try and get out of here with the W.
So the different running backs. Luke Coons is a sophomore running back, so we'll definitely see a lot of him more in the future. To do more future Connellsville games at this great stadium here, great hospitality. I mean, it's definitely one of the only high school stadiums I know that have like individually numbered seats. That's something that was walking around. I was like, oh, this is fancy. But nonetheless, another run up the middle. That is William Bell, and he is wrestled back there. So good play there for Kiski.
And they're about 9 yards from the original line of scrimmage, so it's going to be 3rd and 19 coming up. We are under 2:38 to go now in this game.
So Connellsville just trying to set up a 3rd and long here for the Falcons. So interesting to see on my roster here. Derek Orndorff is listed as a receiver, so might be a little bit thing to get some athletes involved on the field. Not trying to risk some injuries to like your backup quarterback or Brubeck, your actual quarterback. Because again, if Connellsville could steal a win next week here. Actually, Harshman is back in the game, so you can steal a win there. Definitely need him for possible playoff berth if they get it. But this is Joel Stash around, and this time Kiski wraps him up well short. Looked like he lost a yard on the play. I think Lincoln Clayton got him.
And Kiski keeping a lot of their players out there on the field. We're going to have a stoppage. It's a timeout called by Kiski. And that, I believe, is their first timeout of the second half. That's going to stop the clock with 1:54 to go. So Kiski has enough time. If they get a good return here, maybe score again. Make it look a little bit better on the scoreboard than it was on the field. And I'm not saying anything bad about Kiski's play. They just weren't able to get anything going on offense, and the offense for Connellsville was just a little bit too much. As you see right there, our CUTV Twitter page, at CUTV_PA, we will be having our links to the full game broadcast of this game when it is up on YouTube, probably around Monday or Tuesday or so. And we'll also, on Tuesday, have our high school roundup top 3 plays put up there, hashtag T3P. We like to call it. That's the best place to go. We're going to be starting our college football real big chase coming up. Some volleyball as well. Their playoffs starting, so got a lot of things going on at CUTV. Twitter's the best way to keep in touch.
So Fogel will go back to punt for Connellsville. I believe this is Connellsville's first punt of the game. It's a kind of a rugby-style kick there. Well past Keonta Brenton, definitely trying to keep it away from him because we saw he's dangerous, who ran the kickback for Kiski. So Kiski will get one last drive here with 1:46 remaining on the clock. One of the final scores I just looked up, Thomas Jefferson gets the win 24-6 over Franklin Regional. So right now we are tied, my friend, for the top spot there. So, I mean, I picked Franklin Regional because the Greater Allegheny is really beat up in the Big Nine, but Thomas Jefferson's in a league of its own. It's going to be interesting to see how TJ stacks up with Central Valley and West Allegheny from the Parkway Conference. Yeah, and I really don't think that they do stack up very well with them. Thomas Jefferson, if you power rank the teams, Thomas Jefferson's probably a good 3 or 4 in AAA, but they are still very good, and it's hard to take them down in the regular season. But when it gets to the playoffs, they seem to choke a little bit in some instances. We'll have to see if that happens again this year. They have a couple state championships under his belts. We see Kuhn roll to the right there, finds a receiver complete, and that is Gavin Blows. Blows getting near, and it looks like a second effort there will get him the first down. And the clock's going to continue to run with no stoppage available. 1:13 and running to go, so we're just over a minute from the finish of this one. Matt, we got one more game to go. We'll go ahead. I guess we can talk about that one a little bit because it matters in the playoff chase in Tri-County South. Black and Blue Bowl, one of the longest rivalries in all of WPIAL football. What do you expect out of that game? Largest rivalry in Greene County, but I mean, Jeff Morgan got kicked in tonight by Best Center 62-0 as we see a nice run here by John Bracey. Getting back to that game, Jeff Morgan got crushed by Best Center, but no shame on that one there. A little chippiness after his play there. But I just did a From the Vault game. We've done the Black and Blue Bowl 3 out of the last 4 years here on CVTV for our Game of the Week. 2011, 42-41, Jeff Morgan win over Carmichael's, and I just did that. That's going to be a From the Vault coming near you, but Kiski got a timeout here, so Kiski uses their second timeout of the half. And you've got 36 seconds left on the clock, and yeah, Matt, I actually called the Black and Blue Bowl last year with Creighton Rapids. It was actually in the first week of the season instead of the last, and Carmichael's went all over Jeff Morgan, and Jeff Morgan is usually a powerhouse team in the Tri-County South. Over the last couple of years, they've really not been up to that same level of play, so it's going to be interesting to see which teams come out next Friday night because both of them are kind of struggling. They both need wins to be able to stay alive in the playoff chase. So yeah, and trying to get an update here of that Carmichael's Avella game here. It was 41-13 Avella over Carmichael's at halftime, so I pretty much assume Avella is going to get the win there. But don't count out Avella yet. Very impressed there. I picked against them this week. I think you did too. Good job there by good win there for Avella. But Carmichael's and Jeff Morgan still battling for a playoff spot. And one team, the loser, it gets bragging rights, and they're out of the playoffs. But here, Kuhn, long pass there, and it is caught there by Deshaun Bracey. So nice catch, pass and catch there from Kuhn the Bracey. Nice catch there, and it looked like if that wasn't going to be a catch, it probably would have been pass interference because the guy was right there clawing all over Bracey. But a very nice catch. You're doing the Cody Jeanette cat scratch dance here in the booth, and he's right in front of us. I hope he can hear us because we like to have fun with Cody Jeanette as he gave us a little look. But timeout Kiski with 9 seconds left. They are trying to delay the end of this game as much as possible, trying to get into the end zone one final time. And you cannot lack the effort from Kiski trying to get in the end zone. You want to get some points up on the board and try and make sure that you know your offense can do some things. So get down here, probably one less by 9 seconds left on the clock. Kiski's probably got one last shot here. They got to go end zone or stay out of bounds because they don't have any timeouts there. Just looking around here. Well, even if you get out of bounds, it won't stop the clock. That's right. So. Good point. Good point. Very good point there because of the mercy rule there. But while we're on timeout here, I just saw a large thing of dust and smoke from the Connellsville student section over there. It looked like a little LeBron James, throws it up in the air there. So celebrating. Looks like LeBron James was trying to make a batch of cookie dough and just too much sugar and flour and threw it up in the air. That's what it looks like over there, a cloud of smoke on the other side in the Connellsville student section. We see a lot of people starting to clear out from the stadium with only about 9 seconds left. Probably the final play right here. Here's Kuhn, back to pass. He's looking end zone for Bracey. Incomplete. With 3 seconds remaining, 2 seconds remaining, and 0 is on the clock there. So Connellsville sends its seniors out with a win, 37-7 over the Kiski Area Cavaliers. Zach, final thoughts. I really thought Connellsville's running attack
was the difference tonight. Knopsider, Hone, anybody else, Cree, able to get the job done on the running game. If they happen to make playoffs as that wild card and they still have a chance, watch out for that running attack. If you cannot stop the run as a defense, you have chances to be upset by the Falcons.
You absolutely do. So for Zach Prosper, my name is Matt Hagee. To our entirely wonderful crew, did a great job tonight here at Connellsville. Our final score, Connellsville 37, Kiski area 7. One last CUTV High School Game of the Week next week. Jeff Morgan, Carmichael's the Black and Blue Bowl. Our next broadcast tomorrow, it's the Coal Bowl, California, Indiana. And we'll stay tuned for more action here on CUTV all season long.